We're going. Ready?
1 on your dial. KJFM Radio, Eagle 102.
Turn the volume up.
High school football is
Can't hear.
And your Louisiana Bulldogs. And now the starting defense for Crystal City. Number 21, Peyton Rasmus.
Welcome everyone to Cunningham Field in Louisiana. It's Friday night. That means it's time for high school football and the Louisiana Bulldogs. I'm Rodney Dobert along with Kelly Henderson. Broadcast engineer Corey Radford joins us as well. We'll be bringing Louisiana 0-1 after the defeat to Bowling Green last week. They'll be playing Crystal City. The Crystal City Hornets won their game last week as well, so they come in at 1-0. We'll have the
for the Eagle 102 pregame show, sponsored by. It's time now for the Eagle 102 pregame show, sponsored by Bowling Green Pharmacy. Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by Brian and Heather White with White. As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green. It's time now for the Eagle 102 pregame show, sponsored by Bowling Green Pharmacy.
Number 14, Alex Zero.
welcome back. It is the Bowling Green Pharmacy pregame show on Eagle 102 high school football. Louisiana and Crystal City set to kick off in just a little bit over 10 minutes. We'll have some pregame thoughts here. Kelly Henderson.
You know, looking at Crystal City last week, they seem to be run heavy. They had 349 rushing yards on 33 attempts. That's averaging over 10 yards a rush. They only threw the ball 7 times with 2 completions. Seems like maybe that, throwing the ball may be a necessary evil for them. The only 2 completions they had was to Camden Mayer. That was a total of 24 yards. Something to watch for tonight. The Camden Bolton had 5 rushes for 135 yards last week on rushing. So the Bulldogs are going to have to definitely watch that backfield.
Well, speaking to some of the Crystal City coaching staff just a few moments ago, we mentioned that very thing, and his comment was he's a playmaker, and obviously with that kind of line, he certainly is not one you want to let get loose, or he will take it to the house.
Right, and behind any good rushing attack's a good line. I watched a little film, as I said, the right offensive tackle for Crystal City. Seems if he gets his hands on his man, he made numerous pancake blocks in that film last week. So Pitzer and company are going to have to figure out a way to try to neutralize that offensive tackle.
Well, both teams, I'm sure, are looking forward to the weather this evening. Obviously, it was a factor everywhere last week as the high school, the adults, and everybody were sweltering through some record temperatures. Going to be a much better night for football this evening.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to take a short break here, and we will be back with the Vicky Cadwalder Real Estate's Keys to the Game after this on Eagle 102.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
Don't have time to stop by the bank? That's not a problem if you're a customer of People's Bank and Trust. With our mobile and online banking service, you can now bank from anywhere. Deposit checks, pay bills, transfer funds between accounts, check the latest activity on your account, and view images of your checks, all from the convenience of your desktop and smartphone. So start banking on your schedule and download the People's Bank and Trust app today. People's Bank and Trust, hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC.
This is Tracy Brookshire with Pike County Health Department Home Health and Hospice. Our agency is currently looking to hire multiple positions: RNs, LPNs, CNAs, physical therapist assistants, and breastfeeding peer counselor, all from full-time to part-time to contracted. Please visit our website at www.pikecountyhealth.org for more information and to apply online.
Your car, your stuff, your savings. Combine your auto and renter's insurance with a call to State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana, and let Cindy show you how to put life back in your life insurance. Auto, home, and life. Make your wallet happy. Here to help life go right, State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana.
It's a great time to buy or sell a home. I'm Vicki Cadwalder, and I take pride in offering skills that make the process go smoothly from beginning to end. Even after closing, I enjoy staying in touch and being there to help you if you have any other needs or questions. Call me and we'll create a personalized plan just for you. Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, loving our small town life.
Bowling Green Tractor wants to change the way you think about yard work with their Ego 56-volt ARC lithium battery-powered lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. At Bowling Green Tractor, you can walk in and see for yourself just how easy these products are to handle. Bowling Green Tractor, your home for Ego. Power beyond belief.
Welcome back to the Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate Keys to the Game. Kelly, you've got some keys for this ball game.
I do. Louisiana has to stop Crystal City's run and needs to force them to pass. By the stats that we gave earlier, what Crystal City did last week, they're going to run if allowed to. The second key is Louisiana has to have a balanced approach. Louisiana had 0 passing yards last week. They've got to find a way to move the ball in the air at least some. My third key is Louisiana's going to have one big special teams play. One of the biggest plays Louisiana had last week was a 95-yard TD return off of a kickoff by Green. The last one is on defense. Louisiana's going to have to know where Caden Bolton and Caden Rafferty are lined up on every play. As I said earlier, Camden Bolton, had 135 yards rushing on 5 attempts for a 27-yard per rush average. So they are going to have to know where those two gentlemen are at.
Well, that's for sure. And football, in its basic sense, always boils down to tackle better than the other team avoids it, and both teams will be looking to do that here this evening. This has been the Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate Keys to the Game. We'll be back with the Community State Bank starting lineups after this.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
Don't have time to stop by the bank? That's not a problem if you're a customer of People's Bank and Trust. With our mobile and online banking service, you can now bank from anywhere. Deposit checks, pay bills, transfer funds between accounts, check the latest activity on your account, and view images of your checks, all from the convenience of your desktop and smartphone. So start banking on your schedule and download the People's Bank and Trust.
Welcome back to Cunningham Field. This is the Community State Bank starting lineups. Kelly?
Yes, on Louisiana. For offense is Colton McCarty. Right guard, Elon King. Center, Ben McTulla. Left guard, Brendan Hughes. Left tackle, Alec Poston. Tight ends, Cooper Lumley. Wide receivers, Wyatt Martin. Wide receiver is Alex Zarrera. Fullback is Brady Shepard. Tailback is DeMarco Green. And the quarterback is Ethan Harrison. So, coming with Crystal City, they're going to run with Camden Mays at receiver. Seth Center, that we mentioned earlier, at offensive tackle. Caden Raftery, another running back. Luke Holdinghausen, he's on the offensive line. Camden Bolton is another running back. Nolan Eisenboss is the quarterback. Reed Lamar Finch is on the offensive line. Hayden Westbrook is on the offensive line. Cohen Compton, have him listed as a running back. Cale Schaumburg, have him listed as a tight end. And Gage McPherson is on the O-line.
Thank you, Kelly. That was your Community State Bank starting lineup. We'll be back with play-by-play after this on Eagle.
Field for the coin toss.
Behind a rapidly setting sun, we are at Cunningham Field. The captains are at midfield awaiting the opening toss. I played predominantly offense, so I always wanted the ball first, but I can understand why oftentimes given the choice you'd want to put your defense out there first. But I don't know, with the propensity of this Crystal City team to run the ball last week, Kelly, I think it wouldn't be a bad idea just to take the ball and try and put some points on the board.
Yeah, I definitely think that's what I'd want to do, and see if I could get them out of that rushing attack that they were so successful with last week.
Well, it looks like the officials are meeting with the captains at this point.
Counted earlier, Rodney, it looked like the Crystal City brought up, I believe, 23 on their travel as far as players, and I think Louisiana has 21.
And Louisiana has won the toss and will receive. They'll be moving.
Receive the kickoff.
I guess it's not left to right on your radio dial anymore. It'll be left to right on your laptop screen. Eagle 102 set to broadcast game number 2 of the high school season for Louisiana. Well, Louisiana comes off of a loss last week. Bowling Green has been strong for a number of years. Louisiana had the big play right off the rip, I believe, after Bowling Green's first score. They returned that kickoff back for 95 yards. Obviously, big plays like that can get the momentum going. But Louisiana wants to put that loss behind them. Crystal City, on the other hand, comes off a victory, so they're 1-0. They're wanting to keep those good feelings going. Coming off of the loss like Louisiana, what is I guess the most important thing coming out would be to make some positive plays and move the chains, get your offense rolling, and ideally put some points on the board.
Yeah, and absolutely don't turn the ball over early. Get control, do what you were taught in practice, and hang on to the football and see if you can gather some drives. Actually, Crystal City, I saw some statewide polls for Class 1, and they actually received a vote or two for state rankings already, so that they had a pretty impressive game last week against Chaffee.
Well, Marco Green comes out for Louisiana. He'll set up shop on about the 13-yard line to return this opening kickoff. As we move along here this evening, we'll go over the new districting. There's been a change-up in the districts that we've had for a while, and we'll go over that as we move along here at Cunningham Field.
Back to return.
Finch set to kick it off for Crystal City, and we're just about ready to get this game underway. Finch wears number 52, moves into it, and it's a kick fielded by the up man at the 25 to the 30, cuts to his left near the 40, falls forward to the 45-yard line, and Louisiana will put it in play from there, and a good return on the opening kick.
Yeah, the up man made a quick decision to grab that ball. Looked like he had some good acceleration and put Louisiana in a very decent field position to start the game.
First and 10.
Ethan Harrison will take the first snap here as they wind the clock. He lines up a three-back formation under center. Harrison takes the snap, hands off into the backfield for Green, and he's stacked up at the line of scrimmage. Maybe loses a half a yard. DeMarco Green with the loss.
Yeah, there's a breach on the left side of the Bulldog offensive line there that they're going to have to get patched up at some point.
So it'll bring up 2nd and 11 from the Louisiana side of the 45 of their own 45-yard line. Harrison with two backs, an I backfield this time under center. Takes a snap, looks to hand to the fullback, hit at the line of scrimmage. Going to maybe gain a couple. Past the original line of scrimmage, maybe gains 2. It'll be 3rd and 8.
Looked like a broken play to me, Rod. They believe the quarterback wanted the fullback to take the ball there, and it just didn't happen. And the quarterback wound up with the ball and said, "Well, I've got to do something with it." So he just leaned forward. And at least he got a few positive yards out of that.
And Shepard and Harrison collided there in the backfield and actually were able to make a positive out of a negative. Well, 3rd and 8. Opportunity to get off the goose egg in the passing game. Louisiana has 2 receivers to the near side plus the tight end, single back in the backfield. Harrison under center. It's a pitch to Henry coming to the left side of the 45, cuts up, hit about the line of scrimmage, and it's going to be dropped there. It'll be 4th and about 7. And so Louisiana will have to punt on the first series.
So it looks like that Crystal City's defensive coordinator saw 0 passing yards. Looks like a lot of their defensive backfield is crowding the line, daring Louisiana to pass here.
Well, it's 4th down. Harrison's still in there. He stands about 7 yards deep. Could be, looks like they're going to go for it. Could be a punt.
Yeah.
Now he drops back into standard punt formation. Punt is away. It's away from the receiver. It bounces at the 20 and goes out of bounds at the 20-yard line.
Hornets will take over.
Well, you'd hope if you was Louisiana, you'd move the ball a little better than that on your first possession, but maybe a little bit of feeling out right now, and we'll see what happens whenever they get the ball back.
About 5 more minutes and that sun's going to be out of our eyes, Kelly.
That would
be very helpful.
By Lynn's Heritage House, Bill Allen Auction Services, and Knight Equipment Company.
Well, we've had an illegal formation against Louisiana. Going to repeat 4th down, so they'll back it up to about the 42-yard line, and the Bulldogs will re-kick. I did not see the flag on the field.
I did not either. And I did not see anybody move during the snap, so I don't know. Before the snap.
Harrison slides back about 12 yards from the line of scrimmage, takes a good snap, moves into it with the right foot. Angle kick down the right sideline. It's at the 20 and down at the 19 and a half. Looked like they might have got a couple more yards out of that.
Yeah.
So 5-yard further punt, same field position for Crystal City, and they'll put it in play for their first offensive series.
19-yard line.
One of the few instances where a penalty may have worked out just a little bit better for the Bulldogs there.
Well, the big rushing attack Crystal City had last week, only 5 carries, but 135 yards on those 5 carries. So we'll look to see how they get the ball in the hands of Camden Bolton.
Yes, sir. Anxious to see this offensive line work for Crystal City.
Snap back, handoff coming to the near side, bouncing inside, hit at the 23-yard line.
Number 2, Camden Bolton.
And that was Bolton with the carry.
So Louisiana D-line, at least the front 7, have got to find a way to get a little penetration here and there and try to mess that up a little bit in the backfield, or it's going to be a long night for them.
Second and a long 5, call it 6. Single back formation, under center the quarterback. Has Bolton, ball's loose on the ground. Looks like the quarterback fell on
Ball
it.
fumbled, but recovered by the Hornets.
Looked like Colton McCarty was the first in there to try to get that ball away from Crystal City.
Nolan Eisenbass, the quarterback, fell on it. Bad center. I don't know if that was a center to quarterback exchange or if when he turned to make the handoff, it got hit. Nonetheless, the ball was on the ground. So a good chance for Louisiana's defense to get off the field here. It's 3rd and 7.
It appeared on that last play the defensive line got a little more penetration, which may have helped in that miscue by Crystal City.
Eisenbass under center, looks to get it to the right side. Bolden has it. He is drugged down short of the first down marker, across the 25 to maybe the 28-yard line.
Landon DeRoos.
It's going to be 3rd and short. No, it's going to be 4th and short.
4th down. And about 1.
Looked like Ben Nictua was the Bulldog on that stop for Louisiana.
Well, a big chance here. We'll see what Crystal City wants to do. Obviously, they've got confidence in their running game. And they are certainly in a offensive formation. Single back in the backfield, 4th and 1. Quarterback Eisenbass under center, hands off to the up back. Hit, he's going to be denied, and Louisiana's going to hold. It'll be 1st and 10 Louisiana inside the 30-yard line at the 27.
Yeah, great defensive call. Shot some linebackers that time, got the penetration that they needed, and made the stop.
A huge momentum switch early in this football game. And the offense is back at it, trying to put some points on the board. We've got 7:22 left. Clock stopped as Louisiana starts their position. 1st and 10 from the 29s where they spotted it. Harrison under center. DeMarco with the pitch into the backfield is going to lose yardage. It's a negative play. DeMarco Green.
He had a little trouble handling the pitch that time. I think it was just slightly behind him, and he had to kind of bat it in the air, and he had to kind of wait for it to come back down to his hands, and he wasn't able to use his speed to get around the corner like they had hoped for. Corey, what are you seeing on the Bulldog offensive line right now?
On the 3rd down play earlier, I seen the right side get blown up. They just don't respect any kind of passing game at this moment.
Yeah.
Harrison with 3 backs, offset eye to the right. Handoff Murray running to his right across the 35 to the 30. and back to near the original line of scrimmage. It'll be third and about 11 for DeMarco Green picking up. Well, they're going to mark him down after a 4-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 12.
For the Bulldogs.
Rodney, again, Crystal City on these regular downs are just choking everybody up right at the line of scrimmage, and they're just daring the Bulldogs to throw the football.
Have yet to attempt the first forward pass. We come under 6 minutes in the first quarter, a scoreless game. Louisiana has it 3rd and 12. Break the huddle, single receiver to the top of the field. One receiver right as well. We're going to have an illegal substitution.
Yeah.
Illegal substitution in Louisiana, so that's going to back it up another 5. They were trying to make some late substitutions, and they threw the flag. So it'll be 3rd and 17 now.
It'll be a 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, you'll see that penalty even called up in the pros sometimes. It's just the communications on that field is one of the biggest logistics that you have to overcome no matter what level you're on.
3rd and 17. Louisiana huddles on their 48-yard line. Offset eye to the right. Single receiver top of the field. One receiver to the right. Man in motion comes to the right side. Now the backfield empties out. Harrison calls the signals, takes the snap, drops straight back, under pressure, looks over the middle. He was hit as he released it. The ball was on the ground. It's an incomplete pass. Harrison needed just about a second longer to get rid of that football.
Yeah, the left offensive tackle for the Bulldogs couldn't get out on the defensive end fast enough. Defensive end come in almost untouched. We got to find a way to get out there and at least slow him down a little bit to give it a little bit of time.
Brings up 4th and long.
4th and long. Louisiana's offense stays on the field, as you would expect. They're in the formation that they have punted from, and in fact Harrison drops back. Looks like it's going to be a punt formation. He moves into it, tries to pooch it, gets it down the left side. It's going to roll out of bounds about the 11 or 12 yard line, so good change of field position. Obviously you would have liked to have seen a little bit more offensive momentum.
Ball be placed.
Yeah. Again, I still think there's a little fine-tuning that needs to happen with the Bulldog offensive line, where it goes. But, that decision by the Bulldog coaching staff to punt in that field position shows that they have some faith in their defense right now.
5 minutes and 15 seconds left in a scoreless first quarter here at Cunningham Field. We'll step aside for a short break and be back with more high school football from Louisiana Cunningham Field on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by Custom Work Salon and Tanning, the Mercantile Bank, and Pepsi.
Area high school sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Cellular and Satellite Center, Pike County Memorial Hospital, and Community State Bank of Missouri.
1st and 10 from the Hornets.
1st and 10 for the Crystal City Hornets. They'll have it at their own, call it 13-yard line. So a good initial series for the Bulldogs, and you look to see them continue that. Maybe start getting this field position, keep it on their side, and maybe they can break something for a big play. Crystal City, 1st and 10. We've got whistles, and it's going to be a 5-yard penalty, I believe. It's motion. Now they're going to call defensive offside.
Yeah, 56 looked like he went early.
Will be a 5-yard penalty, 1st and 5.
Be Brendan Hughes. Went just a little early that time.
1st and 5 after the penalty. Eisenbeis comes under the center. Has a single back Bolton in the backfield. Handoff kept actually by the quarterback, looking to gain traction across the 25 to the 30-yard line. Going to be a 1st down. That was just a quarterback keeper, I believe.
Yeah, looks like Crystal City really likes to play the number game. They like to get a lot of blockers out in front and get to the perimeter with the runners, hoping that they get more blockers there than you can get defenders there. Again, I look for Louisiana to be able to make some defensive calls to maybe counter that here coming down the field.
1st and 10 from their own 35. Crystal City has it. 4:49 left in the first quarter. Scoreless at this point at Cunningham Field. Had some movement, but the play goes on. Right up the middle is Bolton. I believe he's going to be stopped for a 3 to 4 yard gain.
Short gain by the Hornets.
Maddie Ingram also in with you guys, and we have a couple of scores to pass along. Bowling Green is currently leading Palmyra 6-0. That's another game you can find on YouTube on our Eagle 102 stream. And then we also have another game that's on air. It's at Pittsfield. The Sockies are taking on Olympia in their home opener. Pittsfield currently leads Olympia 6-0.
Thank you, Maddie. 2nd and 7. Crystal City to the line of scrimmage. Single back in the backfield. Handoff to Bolton up the middle. No, fake to the right side. Quarterback still has it across the 40 to the 45, nearing midfield before wrestled out of bounds by a host of Bulldogs on the far side of the field.
Result of the play is a Hornets first down.
Well, that was Bolton. They are moving him around and finding ways to get him the football, and you can certainly see why. He kind of ducked in behind his offensive line, and the next thing you know, he jumped out on the far side and picked up a nice gain. 1st and 10 at the 50. Certainly the first sustained offense from either team. Mays splits to the near side. 2 slots and a single back. Handoff to the slot back, moving to the right side. Nice pursuit by Louisiana, and they'll run him out of bounds for no gain.
Number 5.
Cohen Compton picked up virtually nothing, brought down right there at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Nice pursuit by the D that time.
Corey, what are you seeing out of the Crystal City offensive line?
The downfield blocking by Crystal City is phenomenal. I mean, they've got linemen on Louisiana's second level before we've got linebackers even moving forward at this point.
2nd and 10. Single back formation. We've got motion this time. The tight end for Crystal City had about a 5-yard head start, and it'll be 2nd and 15 after the false start penalty.
I couldn't tell if that tight end was wanting to run that slant over the middle or if he was getting ready to block down on the outside backer, but he sure was coming down hard.
Schomburg, the number 14, the tight end, with the early movement. So Louisiana now has them 2nd and 15. 2:40 left in the scoreless first quarter. Split to the near side is Mays. Bolton in the backfield. Bolton with a ball jump cut, gets about 3. Kenan Bolton operating from the slot that time.
To number 2.
I'm sorry. Alec Polston done a really nice job of holding the edge and turning that field back into his defense right there whenever Crystal City tried to run the perimeter. Done an excellent job of turning that back up.
Well, 3rd and 12. Obviously another good opportunity for Louisiana to force Crystal City into either a punt situation or a 4th down. Be nice to stuff them here and make it a 4th and long and convince them to punt the football. Single back in the backfield. Fake. Looks like they're going to try and throw the football. Downfield, it is tipped, broken up. Good defense by Louisiana. Had over-under coverage there, and that play just didn't have a chance.
Yeah, DeMarco Green done a really nice job of getting in there and timing the jump and being able to knock the ball away. And what was even nicer is we had another defender behind the receiver. So
we had help over the top, and that's how you draw it up right there. Well, it's 4th and 12, and it does look like Crystal City is going to look to punt this one away. Cale Schomburg, he'll line up about 12, 13 yards deep. And kick it away. High snap, but fielded fine. Punt is away. It's a good one. It's going to get fielded about the 13-yard line, backing up to the 10, out of the 20, cutting outside of the 25-yard line. A nice return there. Ethan Harrison with the return. So Louisiana has it back as we
bring up
at the 125 mark of the first quarter. First down, Louisiana. So far, we've certainly seen some good things on the defensive side. Both teams have struggled a little bit offensively. And it looks like they're going to wind the clock. Harrison huddles up his squad on the 18-yard line. Breaks the huddle, 2 receivers to the near side. I backfield. DeMarco Green's the tailback. Pitch to Green coming to the near side. Has some blocking. Looks to get to the corner to the 25, to the 28-yard line. And picks up a nice gain on first down, about 4 yards.
Yeah. The simple thing is you say 4 yards, okay, but, 3 times 4 is 12, and I'll take it all day long if they can get it.
Absolutely.
Ball's placed at the Bulldog 28-yard line.
Yeah, it wasn't the best spot they could have given him.
Yeah.
Going to say a gain of 3. Louisiana huddles, 19 on the play clock. Under a minute left in the first quarter. Knotted at 0. Harrison comes up. He'll operate under center. I backfield. Handoff. Green hitting the backfield. Not going to go anywhere. Probably going to lose a yard. Swallowed up by the defensive front of Crystal City.
Yeah, I happened to notice that time there was a pretty big gap between the right guard and the center. They shot the middle linebacker, and as big as gap as it is awful hard for that lineman to try to get back and close that gap and where they start out too wide. Just something they need to do. It's still early in the season, but you have to check your spacing every down.
Well, Louisiana doesn't seem inclined to run a play here as we run out the clock in the first quarter. And that will do it for the first quarter here from Cunningham Field. 0-0. Louisiana will have it 3rd and 7 when we come back after this break on Eagle 102.
Follow area high school sports on KJFM Radio. Brought to you by Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats, Young Enterprises, and Family Drug.
Don't have time to stop by the bank? That's not a problem if you're a customer of People's Bank and Trust. With our mobile and online banking service, you can now bank from anywhere. Deposit checks, pay bills, transfer funds between accounts, check the latest activity on your account, and view images of your checks, all from the convenience of your desktop and smartphone. So start banking on your schedule and download the People's Bank and Trust app today. People's Bank and Trust, hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
High school sports on your area sports leader, Eagle 102. Brought to you by Bowling Green Tractor, Vicky Cadwalder Real Estate, and Ingram Plumbing.
Well, we've switched the ends of the field. The officials are about to spot the ball. Both teams still huddled on their sideline. We played one quarter.
Yep. I guess it's kind of what you expected. It was, over the lifetime of these two teams playing, Louisiana holds a 2-1 edge in the all-time record. Louisiana's defense has done, I thought, an admirable job of keeping the rushing down to a minimum, especially after the week that Crystal City had last week. You can see that neither coach really likes to throw the football if they don't have to here.
I believe we've had one passing attempt total so far.
Well, Louisiana tried to pass one time, and the left offensive tackle couldn't get out on the defensive end, so that attempt was a very quick attempt. It ended in a sack. So.
Well, Louisiana now moves right to left. Sun safely behind the trees, cooling down in the broadcast booth, which is a good thing. Kelly, it's been a number of years since we've done any football together. It's good to be back. They say about many things, it's just like riding a bike. Well, those listening, if you're of a certain age, have you tried to get on a bike lately? Not necessarily as easy as it used to be.
Yeah, the ones that move can cause you some problems whenever you get a little older.
Harrison bends under center, 3rd and 7. Green in the backfield. Handoff, Green coming near side, fake, looking to throw the ball, had a man open, and it was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
Incomplete pass. We'll bring up 4th down.
Had a man, Shepard was open in the near flat there, and if he could have put just a little bit of air underneath that had the chance to be a big play.
Yeah, Cannon Bolton, mentioned his name again. He was on defense, and he was able to get his hand up and get that ball tipped.
4th and 6. Look for Louisiana to punt this one away. Crystal City, Camden Mays will stand at his own 40-yard line as Harrison drops back, takes the good snap, moves into it. This is a good kick, high kick. Hayes is going to get away from it. It bounces at the 37, rolls inside the 35, and Louisiana will down it there. Crystal City, 1st and 10 from their own 31.
Yeah, Louisiana had nice coverage on that punt. It's pretty easy in high school football to only have about a 10 or 15-yard gain in field position whenever you punt, but they done a nice job and had nice coverage all the way through, and the punt was a very good punt.
So Louisiana defense back on the field to try and contain Crystal City's rushing attack. Very strong last week. So far this week, Louisiana has kept them in check. 1st and 10, Crystal City. Eisenbys under center. One back in the backfield. Handoff to the up man. No, into the backfield. Still running, trying to fight back to the original line of scrimmage, and a nice job.
Carried by number 12, Nolan Eisenbys. No gain on the play.
He was in serious trouble, 5-6 yards behind the line of scrimmage. After all of that, it's going to be a gain of 1.
Defensive line and the linebackers also, there were 3 or 4 that had early penetration on that play. And, early penetration can sure mess a play up. Even if you don't make the tackle, those guys that are getting in there early sure messes the timing up. So
2nd and 9. Call it the 32-yard line. Single back set, offside, left tackle jumped. It'll be 2nd and 14.
Another score to pass along. The Bowling Green Bobcats are now up on Palmyra 14-0. So another big score there, and that was Bryant and his pass to Gibson puts BG up 14-0 over the Palmyra Panthers. They're on the road this week.
Well, some penalties on both sides here in the early going. Still early season, obviously the second game for both squads. I know each of the respective coaching staffs would prefer not to see the false starts and the mental mistakes. 2nd and 15. Eisenbath rolls to the near side, hands off to Bolton in the backfield. Going to pick up about 6 or 7. After that, it'll be 3rd and 6.
Yeah, Louisiana had initial contact with their defensive end right there, and he just couldn't hold on to him. He had him there at the line of scrimmage and just couldn't hold on to the ball carrier.
Down.
Shepard with the stop for Louisiana. 3rd and a little over 6.
Stop here.
Heavy formation to the near side. Single back in the backfield. Bolton in motion. Ball's on the ground. Quarterback Eisenbath picks it up, looking to run with it. Hit in the backfield, will be dropped for a 1-yard loss. And Louisiana makes them pay for the mistake.
Crystal City was changing a lot of formations before the snap, and I'm not sure they didn't wind up confusing themselves there where it was all done, because that was definitely a broken play where it was at. Eisenbath did a great job to get back to the line of scrimmage on that.
Nolan Eisenbath has been lining up as the fullback. I assume his brother, the quarterback, lost the handle in the backfield and sets up this 4th and 7 play. Crystal City set to go for it on 4th down. Under center is Eisenbath. Looking to option to the left side. Louisiana tries to string it out. Eisenbath cuts it up.
Ball.
And it's going to be a first down. Looked like the ball came out, but after all of that, it's going to be 1st and 10 for Crystal City.
I'm starting to see something for Louisiana to be concerned about. They're getting some defenders in the right positions, and they're getting hands on these ball carriers, but they're not bringing them down. If they could bring them down upon first contact, that play wouldn't. I don't know if it had made the line of scrimmage.
There was a lot of traffic there, but Eisenbath, who still had his running back, I believe that was Bolton, on his hip, just squirted to the outside and found some traction. Eisenbath under center, hands off, bellies the fullback, and gives it to him. The other Eisenbath, Nolan's going to fall forward for about a 5-yard gain there, and starting to get a little bit of a control of the line of scrimmage there. The collision is getting pushed downfield.
Yeah. The Crystal City offensive line is starting to win the battle up front. Louisiana's going to have to counter that and increase some gaps between those guys.
Crystal City to the line of scrimmage. Bolton lines up slot right. Eisenbath, Nolan in the backfield as the lone back behind Eisenbath, the quarterback. Bolton in motion, gets the handoff running to the left side, cuts across the line of scrimmage, makes one man miss. Very shifty, doesn't look like he's moving, but people just don't catch him. He picks up about 12 yards. Bolton with a nice gain there. 1st and 10, Crystal City inside Louisiana territory at about the 38.
You know, just another instance, Rodney, where they're trying to, get on the perimeter with more blockers than Louisiana can get defenders over there.
Well, after that, Louisiana takes a timeout. We'll step aside as well. This is Louisiana High School football on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by PJ's Salon, Noah Builders, and Reed Insurance Agency.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
Don't have time to stop by the bank? That's not a problem if you're a customer of People's Bank and Trust. With our mobile and online banking service, you can now bank from anywhere. Deposit checks, pay bills, transfer funds between accounts, check the latest activity on your account, and view images of your checks, all from the convenience of your desktop and smartphone. So start banking on your schedule and download the People's Bank and Trust app today. People's Bank and Trust, hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC.
The most complete coverage of high school sports is on Eagle 102, and it's brought to you by Mid-America Auto and Towing, the Mercantile Bank, and Pike County Mutual Insurance.
1st and 10, Crystal City after the Louisiana timeout. They have it inside Bulldog territory. Ball spotted right at the 40-yard line. Crystal City offense starting to gain traction. Eisenbath's under center. Bolton into the backfield. Handoff to the up man, kept by the quarterback. Eisenbath will be dropped in the backfield. Loss of about a half a yard, and the Bulldogs got penetration that time as they had a host of defenders to bring down the quarterback.
Yep, absolutely. Now that, whenever they crease gaps and, hang on to the man, they've done a really good job. But I don't know that they're going to overpower this offensive line from Crystal City. They've just got to be a little quicker and get to that gap.
Eisenbath looked to, it was almost like a counter motion there with he and Bolton, and really the Louisiana defensive front was in the backfield and made any kind of a quarterback-running back exchange very difficult. Bolton in motion to the left, pitch to him going to the near side. They've got him hemmed in, but they need to string him out, and they do. Great play by the Bulldogs there. It's going to be a loss of about 3.
Cannon Bolton.
So we had
run out of bound by Cooper Lumley there. Did a nice job of Bolton gave a fake back inside, and Lumley just kept his position and forced him outside, and he just stepped out of bounds for a loss. Boy, that's a pretty generous spot as well there.
Yes, he is.
Going to be 3rd and 12. Ball at the 42 of Louisiana, Crystal City. 15 seconds on the clock. Crystal City quickly to the line of scrimmage. Bunched formation. Single back in the backfield, 2 slot backs. Bolton to the right. Handoff to Eisenbath. Quarterback keeps it. Cuts into the open field. He breaks free. He's going to be run down in the touchdown-saving tackle at the 15.
Yeah, the
12, Nolan Eisenbath.
you know, it's hard to have your high schoolers not want to pursue as hard as they can, but at that time the backside pursuit went to where they thought the football was at, and whenever Eisenbath cut it back, there was no one there.
Crystal City runs a nice look. The quarterback and whichever particular running back they're looking to get involved almost are running the same spot, and then it's very difficult to see which one of them keeps the football, and that time Louisiana tackled the wrong one.
Yep.
Caden Rafferty in the backfield. Bolton gets it running to the left side. We've got a flag.
Yeah.
Bolton gets inside the 5 near the goal line.
I think we're going to have a holder clip there.
It was in the area of some kind of a blocking infraction. Bolton takes it all the way inside the 5, short of the goal line, but this one's coming back, holding on the offense. Flags down at about the 19, so that's going to be a huge penalty. You go from 1st and goal to 1st and about 21. Good break for Louisiana.
You know, Rodney, for our older listeners, it looks what Crystal City's running looks a lot like we saw from Palmyra and Monroe City and South Shelby over and over again back in the 70s, 80s, and even the 90s.
I still have memories of Glenn and Greenwell from South Shelby. Although oddly not nearly as vivid as his memories. I heard an interview with him 5 or 10 years ago, and he gave a pretty good recount of the 225 yards he put on us here at Cunningham Field my senior year.
I think that's back when we had to ride our dinosaurs to school, wasn't it, Rodney?
It was a dinosaur.
Yeah.
It had a shade cover, though.
Yeah, those come out after I had left high school.
1st and 21. Eisenbath under center. Hands straight up the middle to the up back. Going to gain about 6. Actually, looks like they moved the line of scrimmage. Had a pretty nice pickup there on 1st down. Contact looked like it was made right after the handoff.
Gain of 4 on the play.
Yep.
Brings up 2nd and 16.
2nd and 16, ball at the 21-yard line of Louisiana. A fast-moving game, 5:46 to play here in the second quarter, still scoreless.
It's going to roll pretty good when you have two teams that hate to throw the football.
Eisenbath looks to hand off to Rafferty. He does in the backfield, being swarmed by Louisiana. They'll probably give him near the line of scrimmage, but a great defensive effort by the entire defensive left for Louisiana.
Caden Rafferty met by 3 Bulldogs.
Rafferty drug down in the backfield. It's going to be 3rd down, about 15.
Colton McCarty didn't get the tackle there, but he made the play. He shot his gap, met the fullback right there at the line of scrimmage and stopped him, and that allowed some other Bulldog defenders to come over and clean it up.
Big play here, 10 on the play clock as Crystal City breaks the huddle. Rafferty in the backfield is the lone back. Eisenbath under center. And a timeout on the field taken by Crystal City as they were about out of time on the play clock. We will step aside as well. This is Louisiana High School football on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by Gypsy Soul Salon and Boutique, Lacrosse Lumber, and Meyer Implement Company.
This is Tracy Brookshire with Pike County Health Department Home Health and Hospice. Our agency is currently looking to hire multiple positions: RNs, LPNs, CNAs, physical therapist assistants, and breastfeeding peer counselor, all from full-time to part-time to contracted. Please visit our website at www.pikecountyhealth.org for more information and to apply online.
Your car, your stuff, your savings. Combine your auto and renter's insurance with a call to State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana, and let Cindy show you how to put life back in your life insurance. Auto, home, and life. Make your wallet happy. Here to help life go right, State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana.
Best coverage of high school sports on KJFM, brought to you by Community State Bank of Missouri, County Market, Louisiana, and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
After the timeout, Crystal City will be faced with a 3rd and 15 at the Louisiana 21-yard line. Scoreless in the first half so far here at Cunningham Field.
3rd and 15.
4:46 left in the second quarter of play.
Corey, what's your insight on the passing of this game?
This feels like a Tony Geschwinder appreciation game with 2 passing attempts so far. Tony would be proud.
Eisenbath, speaking of pass, rolls out to his right, looks to throw. He fakes. He's going to be run out of bounds at about the 20-yard line. Going to be 4th down and just inside 10. Call it 4th and 9. Cooper Lumley with a nice play to run the quarterback out. I don't know if that was intended to be a pass or if it was just a pass action to open up something on the right side.
Crystal City had receivers down the field. Louisiana did a great job of covering those, and then Louisiana had adequate pressure. I won't say great pressure, but had adequate pressure there to not get Eisenbeis the time that he needed to work a receiver open.
4th and 10, they call it. We have a timeout on the field, Louisiana. We'll take a short break as well here late in the second quarter. 0-0 from Cunningham Field.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by All Parts, Kayla Caldwell, certified financial planner with Edward Jones, and Ann Lane Boutique.
It's a great time to buy or sell a home. I'm Vicki Cadwalder, and I take pride in offering skills that make the process go smoothly from beginning to end. Even after closing, I enjoy staying in touch and being there to help you if you have any other needs or questions. Call me and we'll create a personalized plan just for you. Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, loving our small town life.
Area high school sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, State Farm Insurance, Cindy Blaylock Agent, Perkins Electrical Services, and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
4:38 left in the second quarter of play. A very fast-moving game from Louisiana's Cunningham Field. Still scoreless at zeros. We've, as we mentioned, had an absence of passing, and I don't expect that to really change anytime soon as this game progresses.
I would agree, Rodney. It just seems like the coaches are not comfortable putting the ball up in the air very often. I think they have to put it up, and especially Louisiana has to put up a little more to back off some of Crystal City's defenders on the perimeter, but that remains to be seen if they'll do it.
Big play in this first half here, 4th and a long 10. Single back is Rafferty in the backfield. We have another whistle and another timeout on the field. We'll take a short break as well, bring it right back after this on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by La Roots Hair Salon and Tanning, Sun Window Company, and MASH.
Bowling Green Tractor wants to change the way you think about yard work with their Ego 56-volt ARC lithium battery-powered lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. At Bowling Green Tractor, you can walk in and see for yourself just how easy these products are to handle. Bowling Green Tractor, your home for Ego. Power beyond belief.
This is Tara Grody.
Area high school sports throughout the season on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Veolia Landscape Supply, Oil Banks, and Diesel
School District. Every time you use your Bobcat debit card as a credit, People's Savings Bank will give the school district 5 cents. That may not sound like a lot of money, but since starting this program 6 years ago, PSB has been able to give back over $120,000. Open an account online at ourpsb.com or stop by our branch. We are the one with a bright blue roof. Start earning the Bowling Green School District money today just by using your debit card. Member FDIC.
Area high school football action from Cunningham Field in Louisiana. We have a couple of scores to pass along that are taking place across the area. The Bowling Green Bobcats, they are leading Palmyra 14-0. Still not much going on as they are in the second quarter up there as well. And then we have a score of 6-0. Pittsfield is leading Olympia. So you can catch that game on air at Eagle 102, but we have a couple games streaming online. So back to you guys.
Well, during the break there, Crystal City attempted the 4th down play. Alec Polston stuffed it for a loss of about 2. Louisiana takes over on downs, and a huge play by the Bulldog defense.
Yeah, Alec had a little bit of help from Brendan Hughes there. They were both in good positions. That tackle.
Harrison hands off to DeMarco Green up the middle. Going to gain about 3, maybe 4 yards.
Corey, it looked like the Louisiana offensive line got off the ball a little better that play than they had been.
Louisiana's had more success run through the tackles than out to the edge. They're getting beat out on the edge every time they run outside. So running right up the middle is probably their best play pattern right now.
Maybe a little play action a little later off of that, huh?
Bulldogs shaking up. That was DeMarco Green. He comes to the sideline. Don't look for him to be out long. Helmet came off, so I believe he has to come out. Bulldogs second and 7. Handoff again up the middle through the tackles. Gain of about 3 or 4.
Another play where the Bulldog line has searched better than they have all night. Last 2 plays, they seem like they're getting off the ball a little better than they were earlier.
Shepard with the carry on second down. 3rd and short. Call it 2, 2.5, maybe 3. 3:15 left in the second quarter. Still tied at zeros. 15 on the play clock. Play coming in. Louisiana breaks the huddle. Harrison comes to the line of scrimmage. He'll line up under center. Green back in the backfield. Handoff up the middle, fighting for yardage. Got a penalty flag on the far side. Ball carrier
No gain on the carry.
did not gain the first down. We're going to have a false start against Louisiana. So depending on what Crystal City chooses to do here, it'll either be 4th and 2 or 3rd and 7.
The legal formation on the offense.
Louisiana seemed to try and run some tempo out of the huddle. I don't know if they were just pressed for time or if it was by design, but again, I believe they confused themselves.
Yeah. I'm not sure on these illegal formations. The second one tonight, if the receivers are, the receivers that need to be up on the line of scrimmage are getting there. I didn't see anything else that would have that stood out to me for an illegal formation there besides that.
Zero brings the play in. It looks like Crystal City will accept the penalty.
Illegal formation.
It'll be 3rd
offense,
and about 7 now. Call it 8.
3rd down.
One timeout left for Crystal City, so you wonder if they're going to use it here to conserve some time if they stop Louisiana.
Yeah, 2:48 left on the clock. I would guess that would be. Would not surprise me if they did it.
Well, the officials wind the clock, and the clock does start with 2:42 left here in the second quarter. Louisiana going to most likely run some clock here, devise a play to pick up the first down, and then they can worry about tempo if they do. If not, you want to limit the amount of time left for Crystal City. Harrison quickly to the line of scrimmage. Everybody's set. Drops straight back, looks to pass. Airs it out down the right side, has a man open.
Yes.
Caught at the 50-yard line.
Yes.
To the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the house. Touchdown, L.A. Bulldogs. Well, if you're not going to pass very often, Kelly, that's a good one. That's a good one to call.
That's a good one to do. I tell you, the receiver there ran a great route. Had his man beat. Ethan Harrison saw it early and made a very nice throw. Let it up in the air, let the receiver run underneath of it, so he didn't have to break stride, and nobody could catch him from Crystal City.
Zierra caught that, and there was a defender in the general area, and he just flat out ran him. 2-point conversion attempt forthcoming from Louisiana. Harrison under center. Takes the snap, handoff, looking to fake to the throw to the end zone. Had a man open. It's going to fall incomplete. However, Louisiana breaks on top, They're up 6-0 here, 2:13 left in the second quarter. We'll take a short break on Eagle 102.
Play some defense. Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by Bip Veach and Collier Funeral Homes, Calumet of Missouri, and Kearns Construction.
I'm Tylen Mills, the CEO of Pike County Memorial Hospital. You've heard it from your friends, family, and even neighbors. They choose Pike County Memorial Hospital. Quality care from quality people. Pike County Memorial Hospital.
Royal Banks is your community bank with locations throughout St. Louis, St. Charles, Northeast Missouri, Granite City, and Jerseyville, Illinois. A Royal Bank branch is not far away. Royal Banks bring experienced staff and products and services designed to meet your professional and personal financial needs. Investing in our communities, one client at a time. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal opportunity lender. The area's best coverage of high school sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Pike County Health Department, People's Savings Bank, and All Parts.
Well, in a game that plodded along very methodically, Lightning has struck an 80-yard touchdown pass. Harrison to Ziala, just what Louisiana needed here late in this first half.
Yeah, it's a bit ironic after we were talking about both teams are scared to throw the football, and we get the long touchdown pass out of Louisiana for the first score of the game.
So Louisiana puts it in play. Harrison set to kick it off with 2:13. Pooch kick down to the near side, finds an opening. Ball's on the ground, and Crystal City wisely falls on it.
Yeah, Louisiana coaching staff didn't want to give him a chance at a long return there. As late in the half as it is.
Evan Wolf from Crystal City. Backtrack, fell on it, and Crystal City has it now, just over 2 minutes left in the second. They have it at their own 28.
So, Corey, what's your thoughts on the KJFM's management decision to stick 3 offensive linemen in the booth to call the game?
We call ourselves the Three Stooges.
Yeah.
And the quarterback was just an absolute beaut of a throw for him not to have thrown much so far this game. Crystal City does have a chance here because they're going to receive the kickoff after half to possibly score on 2 straight possessions, so watch that.
Crystal City, 1st and 10, under center. Eisenbeis hitting the backfield. He's going to be sacked for a big loss. Wrapped up at the 45-yard line. First in on the scene for Louisiana is Brendan Hughes, and he had help.
Yes, he did. There was a jailbreak on that defensive line. Love to see Louisiana creasing these gaps. I don't think that they can outmuscle the offensive line from Crystal City, but they are. It seems like they're getting quicker as the game is going on, and they're able to shoot the gaps and get some penetration.
2nd and 14 after the sack. 2 receivers top of the field. Single back in the backfield behind Eisenbeis. Eisenbeis rolls out to his left, sets up, looks over the middle, has a man open, just shy of the first down, about the 35-yard line. Pass is complete. Clock runs, and it's going to be 3rd and about 3.5.
It's 3rd down.
Eisenbeis displayed, he's got a little power in that arm. He was rolling left, and he zinged that ball out there in the deep flat and was able to get the reception.
Third down and 3. Rolling out to the right, Eisenbeis has his man open at the 40 to the 45 near midfield. First down and out of bounds at the 49-yard line. Number 8, Camden Mays with the reception from Eisenbeis.
Well, the clock is still running. Now they got her shut down.
44 ticks left. It'll be 1st and 10. I think the officials are going to get the clock straightened out. Runner went out of bounds just short of midfield, stopping the clock. However, the clock didn't stop.
No, it was about, now they're going to 52. That's about where it's at. It was I think they got it real close back to where the play should have stopped, or the clock should have stopped at. So
1st and 10. A stop here would be great for Louisiana after the long touchdown pass. Eisenbeis looks to belly to the fullback, hands off to Eisenbeis up the middle. Got some shenanigans.
Carried by number 21.
Got an offensive and defensive lineman wrapped up in a tussle about 15 yards downfield. Ball will be spotted, however, at the 47-yard line. Timeout, Crystal City, their last. We'll step aside for a final break as well. This is Louisiana High School football on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by the Keeley Center, Service and Supply Co-op, and Ameriprise Certified Financial Planner Tamara Scherter.
From the classic cheesesteak and rich crab cakes, a taste of Philly in Bowling Green is a fan favorite. A meal ready for you before or after the game, and game day jerseys are welcome. Open 7 days a week. A taste of Philly. Business Highway 54 West in Bowling Green.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Rod Prentice and Brenda Crawford, State Farm Agents, Pepsi, and Ackles Farm Market.
Well, after the timeout, Crystal City's last, they won't be able to stop the clock again. 32.9 seconds. They'll have it 2nd down and a long 6 just inside Louisiana territory at the Bulldog 47.
You know, Rodney, without the timeouts, does Crystal City try to go to the ground at all, or is everything in the air here?
To the sideline?
Maybe to the sideline.
Well, Bolton split to the near side. He has a fellow receiver out there, and they look to throw it. It's a behind the line of scrimmage pass. Bolton just steps forward inside the 45 to the 43. That was a lateral. I don't know if the officials knew that or not, but I kind of looked for to throw that ball.
Yes. I did too, only the receiver in front of him was strictly blocking, so he didn't run a pattern, so I think it was a designed hitch and run.
28 seconds left. Mays splits to the top of the field. Bolton slot to the right.
We don't have anybody. Louisiana doesn't have anybody on the slot.
Oh, not.
Pass out into the slot to the left side, breaking into the secondary, inside the 30 to the 25-yard line. First down, Crystal City. Ball nearly tipped at the line of scrimmage by Louisiana, but nearly being the key word. Couldn't get his hands on it.
No, well, and I wasn't sure it wasn't tipped. It looked like maybe that it was, but not enough for it to go offline to where they couldn't make the reception.
18.6 seconds. 1st and 10. Crystal City with some offensive momentum of their own, trying to answer Louisiana's score late here in the second quarter.
Put a few seconds back on the clock to 21.
21 ticks. Eisenbeis under center. Looks to the right side, has Bolton. Skip pass. And that one, I'll be honest, that one was nearly a backward lateral as well, but it's going to go as an incomplete pass.
Rodney, I tell you, if I was Crystal City, I would continue to run that play. If you look, we really don't have anybody covering that slot receiver that's out there. I'm not sure why, but look for Crystal City to run this until Louisiana adjusts to it.
Mays splits to the far side of the field, which is the short side. Ball on the left hash. Bolton comes in motion in the backfield. We've got a flag.
Keep going.
I don't know exactly what we've got here. It's going to be some kind of motion, offsides. It is going to be illegal formation or false start against Crystal City. So a break for the Bulldogs. It'll go back 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 15 now.
15.4 seconds left on the clock.
6-0 Louisiana with the lead here in the first half on the 80-yard touchdown pass, Harrison to Ziawa. Crystal City 2nd and 15. Mays to the top of the field. Bolton slot to the right. Single back is Rafferty in the backfield. Bolton in motion. The fake rolling out to his left. Air ball. Airs it out down the right side. Incomplete. No flags on the play. Had defenders in the area for Louisiana. It'll be 3rd and 15.
Yeah. They're going to roll some time back on that clock.
2.8 right now. They're going to back it up to 9 seconds. 3rd and 15.
It's 3rd down.
Well, anything at this point, I suppose they've got
Nobody in the end zone now.
they got a chance to complete something to the sideline and get one more shot. But otherwise, it's going to have to be in the end zone. Anything tackled within the field of play, and this first half will run out.
You know, Louisiana defenders can't let anybody behind them. They have to keep everything in front of them at this point.
Eisenbeis drops straight back in the pocket. Steps up, looks to run. Angles to the left side. He cuts back inside. If they can get him on the ground, the half will be over. The time is off the clock. Eisenbeis is hit, drugged down at the 3-yard line. What a play by Louisiana. The half runs out. Louisiana leads 6-0 at the end of the first half.
Crystal City 0.
We'll take a break after
Halftime recording coming up, sponsored by Cellular and Satellite Center.
Cellular and Satellite Center is the only stop you need to make when it comes to satellite providers, offering DirecTV and Dish Network along with antenna installs. Now, a special message from Matthew Niemeyer himself.
If you call an 800 number and they say we will be the local installer, they are wrong.
Contact Matthew at Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green, your local authorized dealer.
From the classic cheesesteak and rich crab cakes, a taste of Philly in Bowling Green is a fan favorite. A meal ready for you before or after the game, and game day jerseys are welcome. Open 7 days a week. A taste of Philly. Business Highway 54 West in Bowling Green.
Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy, where the #1 priority is the customer and adding new services to help simplify your life and building a strong, high-performance financial services organization. Community State Bank in Bowling Green and Troy, your community bank since 1887, member FDIC.
Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.
Well, Louisiana Cunningham Field, this is the Cellular and Satellite halftime show. A good first half for Louisiana, Kelly. It was a slow-moving, or as a fast-moving, but kind of a methodical half until lightning struck there late in the second quarter. The 80-yard touchdown pass, Harrison to Ziarwa, and that puts Louisiana on top 6-0.
Yeah, you know, the whole first half until at 2:13, left in the half, you know, looked like an old-fashioned CCC battle, 3 yards in a cloud of dust. Neither one able to get in the end zone. Then at 2:13, two teams that I don't think really likes to pass, if they don't have to, decide to put the ball in the air. Resulted for 6 points for Louisiana, and it got Crystal City all the way down to Louisiana 3 as time ran out in the second half, or in the first half.
Corey, it looked like you had mentioned, and I would agree there, as we moved from the first quarter into the second quarter, the Crystal City offensive line started to gain some traction against Louisiana. What I did notice, and obviously with the big play, that the last play notwithstanding, Louisiana gained certainly some energy in their defensive front as that last series for Crystal City unfolded.
You know, football and boxing has a lot of similarities, and it felt like Crystal City just kept jabbing and jabbing and jabbing, and eventually those body blows started resulting in bigger plays for Crystal City, and then Louisiana just lands a haymaker and knocks Crystal City down for an 8 count. And that's obviously the passing touchdown is the big difference in the game. But remember, Crystal City does get the ball back right after half, and they just went down the field on Louisiana. And you got to figure there's a lot of electrolytes being drank in the Louisiana locker room and the Crystal City locker room right now.
That's another reason that stop was so critical for Louisiana. There is you do get a 2-for-1. If they score there, then all of a sudden they could score again, and Louisiana could be down before they ever get the ball back. At this point, short of an extra point, the worst case scenario, they're still going to be within a point or two, and that was critical. They did move it down. However, there certainly was some prevent defense in play, and that last play, it did just what it was supposed to do. It prevented him from scoring about 3 yards short of the end zone.
Mm-hmm. And as we talked about, I thought the Louisiana defense did a good job of not letting anybody get behind them. All the players were in front, so the Crystal City players were in front of Louisiana defenders, guarding against the huge play. And Greg Pitcher and staff, I thought, did a nice job of calling their defense in that type of situation.
The quarterback, certainly is athletic. It would have been, if you're Crystal City, it would have been nice to get the ball in the hands of Bolton to run around in the backfield, because in space, he certainly has the ability to make people miss. Although Eisenbies did a good job of making everybody miss until right there at the end for sure. 6-0 is our halftime score. We're going to take our first break on the Cellular and Satellite Halftime Show. Be back after this on Eagle 102.
Where we come back.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by Brian and Heather White with White Insurance Agency, DG Firearms, and Hayden's Motorsports Center.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
Don't have time to stop by the bank? That's not a problem if you're a customer of People's Bank and Trust. With our mobile and online banking service, you can now bank from anywhere. Deposit checks, pay bills, transfer funds between accounts, check the latest activity on your account, and view images of your checks, all from the convenience of your desktop and smartphone. So start banking on your schedule and download the People's Bank and Trust app today. People's Bank and Trust, hometown banking the way it should be. Member FDIC.
Area high school sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Cellular and Satellite Center, Pike County Memorial Hospital, and Community State Bank of Missouri.
We have some scores to pass along. It's halftime here at Cunningham Field in Louisiana. 6-0. The Louisiana Bulldogs lead Crystal City, the Hornets. So a couple of scores to pass along. Bowling Green is at Palmyra, and they've kind of taken over here, especially in the second quarter. And Jace Eskew, he was able to get a pass in. And 30-0 is the score at halftime for Bowling Green. They are leading Palmyra. And Pittsfield, it's 14-14 currently, and then as we mentioned here, 6-0, the Louisiana Bulldogs lead Crystal City.
Thank you, Maddie. And we are at the half. I'm Rodney Dolbear alongside Kelly Henderson. That was Maddie Ingram, and we have Corey Radford in the group in the house as well, and a pretty entertaining first half.
I agree, Rodney. I tell you, but it takes. To me, it's more than just the football players that make the whole football experience what it is. You have your band, which is on the field now. You have your cheerleaders, which is on the field now. And those people work pretty hard, too, at their craft. And I'd like to mention the cheerleaders real quick for Louisiana. It's Katie Wallace and Reagan Bowser and Anna Ince and Allie Jenkins, Alyssa Christensen, Ashlyn Treadway, Claire Krieger, Emily Krieger, Gwen Reed, Lauren Ince, Macy Jordan, Maddie Jenkins, Michaela Leslie, Peyton House, and Sophie Griffin.
Thank you, Kelly. As leading up to this here in a few weeks before, I saw a tweet come across or something that talked about the districts in the state of Missouri and how they've reorganized it. You've got football teams are in one district and basketball teams are in other districts, and it's a little bit confusing. I certainly can't make the claim to know how Misha did it, but they did it, and we'll go over the districts to let everybody know who is in Louisiana's district now. It certainly has changed.
Yeah, again, back when we rode our dinosaurs to school, there was 15 or 16 in the district, and then it got down to 4. And now Class 1 District 2, which is Louisiana, which Louisiana is in, has 9 teams. Those are Chaffee, Crystal City, Fayette, Harrisburg, of course Louisiana, Russellville, St. Vincent, Tipton, and Van Far.
That's a pretty good stretch from a geography standpoint as well. But that's it, 9 teams, and I do not know how they're doing district play. This is obviously a district game, so it used to be for several years your district was played at the end. I'm not up to date to know exactly how that is played now, but nonetheless they've certainly changed the format, and Louisiana has some new competition in the districts.
In addition to all of that, you can be in a different class for, let's say, softball or basketball. You could be class 4 for basketball, and then you could be class 2 for softball. You could be class 2 for football. It all really depends on those different things, and so that definitely stretches those districts, and you could be going to places you've never been before and playing teams you've never seen before, and so it kind of puts people in different locations. But as you mentioned, Crystal City was a team that Louisiana has seen for many years and even faced in those district ball games.
I know that in what little reading I did about it, that from the football side, they basically wanted to put a certain number of teams in each class and then divided the division or the districts up accordingly, which I think is how it's always been, but is a little bit different. And I think the big difference is, as you mentioned, Maddie, some of your sports are going to be in not just different districts, but different classifications altogether.
It completely changes the way that you approach the playoff season as well, and so some of those bigger schools have some of those kids that get a little bit more experience in some of those sports, and so it either evens things up or it makes the playing field kind of fair game for anyone. So definitely tough, but let's talk a little bit about this game. And so Louisiana has obviously made some changes in their play from week 1 to week 2, and so this is a completely different ball game. What are you guys seeing out of Louisiana today, especially against a pretty evenly matched opponent?
Well, I'm seeing that, again, I know I went over and over it, that Louisiana would rather run the football. Most high school coaches would to do that. But I've also seen a good defensive game plan. If you watched any film last week whenever Crystal City played Chaffee, I mean, they just ran the daylights out of Chaffee. And Louisiana has come in here with a pretty good defensive game plan and has made some good in-game adjustments to at least contain that running attack that they had last week.
That's a good point, Kelly. I think you did watch some film, and we looked at and talked about the statistics that Crystal City put up last week, and like Louisiana, they want to run the football, and by and large, they never really got the running game on track, and the explosive plays. You can certainly account the last play, I guess, as an explosive play. It was over 20 yards. It's a little bit of a jailbreak. Louisiana did what they needed to do, kept them out of the end zone. Other than that, I think about the longest play I can remember is one close to 15 yards, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. And Rodney, I'm sure the coaches saw more film on Crystal City last week than what I looked at, and I'm sure their number one priority was stopping that run. Whenever they come in with such huge numbers from last week on the ground and such a huge average per rush, I'm sure that they saw the same thing that a lot of people did when they looked at the numbers. It's like, we got to find some way to stop the run and make them pass the football.
9:20 left in halftime. Had 20 minutes on the clock this week, I believe, or at least my guess is going to be they put an extra 5 minutes on for heat. Certainly, it's a lot better than it was at the start of the game, and anybody that was at a game or anywhere outside last Friday, it's much better than it was last week.
Yes.
To say the least, and I think that definitely impacts the play that you see on the field as well, and those water breaks are helpful, but it can only do so much, and it's exerting, and you've been out there all week and you've been practicing all week, so that definitely changes things.
You do, and whenever you have a limited number on your team and the majority of them going both ways, it can really, really take a toll.
That it can. This is the Cellular and Satellite Halftime Show on Eagle 102. We'll take a short break and be back with more after this.
Game of the Week coverage
We
with
come back.
Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by Lynn's Heritage House, Bill Allen Auction Services, and Knight Equipment Company.
This is Tracy Brookshire with Pike County Health Department Home Health and Hospice. Our agency is currently looking to hire multiple positions: RNs, LPNs, CNAs, physical therapist assistants, and breastfeeding peer counselor, all from full-time to part-time to contracted. Please visit our website at www.pikecountyhealth.org for more information and to apply online.
Your car, your stuff, your savings. Combine your auto and renter's insurance with a call to State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana, and let Cindy show you how to put life back in your life insurance. Auto, home, and life. Make your wallet happy. Here to help life go right, State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana.
It's a great time to buy or sell a home. I'm Vicki Cadwalder, and I take pride in offering skills that make the process go smoothly from beginning to end. Even after closing, I enjoy staying in touch and being there to help you if you have any other needs or questions. Call me and we'll create a personalized plan just for you. Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, loving our small town life.
Follow area high school sports on KJFM Radio. Brought to you by Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats, Young Enterprises, and Family Drug.
At the half in Louisiana, Cunningham Field, this is the Cellular and Satellite Halftime Show. Louisiana with a 6-0 lead over Crystal City after 2 periods of play.
Corey, where are we going to next week?
Oh, I'm pretty excited about next Friday for a road trip over to Columbia, Missouri to take on Michael Porter, NBA champion Michael Porter and Mizzou alums Father Tolton in Columbia. Game time will be at 7 o'clock. I'm sure we'll see a lot of Louisianians at Shakespeare's Pizza and enjoying Columbia on a early September Friday night. And for anybody that's out there listening in the mid-Missouri area that can't necessarily travel back to Louisiana for a home game, but can make it over to Columbia, come on out.
And in addition, that game is going to be a good one. As last year, Louisiana made that push, made that comeback in that game against Father Tolton. They came up just short, and I know that left a bitter taste in their mouth. That's one they're looking to get back this year.
Well, that'll be a good time. I'm going to be over there all weekend as Missouri plays on Saturday night, so I'm going to make it a high school college football weekend and looking forward to it.
You're going to be footballed out, right?
I don't think that can happen.
It's just like cheese. There's not too much cheese. There's not too much football.
Well, and the NFL, in essence, starts on Sunday, so it's going to be a trifecta next weekend.
Well, it starts on Thursday night in Kansas City, so we've got I-70 covered here.
Well, and you remember Monday Night Football, so we're in some sort of a Quint situation there, right?
We were just talking about some of the elements that make those Friday nights so special. Cheerleaders do a great job, but additionally we have some band members who put on a great halftime show, and they always do the national anthem up pretty big as well.
Right. I'd like to mention the band members for Louisiana real quick. It's Colina Campbell and Emerson Bradley and Chloe Green and Ashlyn Treadway and Julian Ham and Jericho Olson and Johnny Miller and Carolina Mirero and Nakia Griffith and Jason Haynes and Braden Cox and Caden Weimer and Ellen King and Kenjan and Jacqueline Woods and Dominic Hathaway and Tyler Martin.
So they do a great job, and they put on a good show. They also braved the heat last week. They're doing it again this week, but they're here every Friday home game. So big shout out to those kids.
That's right, and I feel like they deserve it because they put work into their craft just like the football players do.
Absolutely, and as hot as it is for the football players and the fans, the members of the band and the cheerleaders and everybody else is dealing with the same elements for sure.
We'll take a quick break here. We have about 4 minutes left in our halftime. We'll break down some scores, and then we'll have football action headed your way next on Eagle 102.
High school sports on your area sports leader, Eagle 102. Brought to you by Bowling Green Tractor, Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, and Ingram Plumbing.
Bowling Green Tractor wants to change the way you think about yard work with their Ego 56-volt ARC lithium battery-powered lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. At Bowling Green Tractor, you can walk in and see for yourself just how easy these products are to handle. Bowling Green Tractor, your home for Ego. Power beyond belief.
This is Tara Grody, and People's Savings Bank is excited to announce the Bobcat debit card. People's Savings Bank believes in giving back to the communities we serve, and that begins with the school district. Every time you use your Bobcat debit card as a credit, People's Savings Bank will give the school district 5 cents. That may not sound like a lot of money, but since starting this program 6 years ago, PSB has been able to give back over $120,000. Open an account online at ourpsb.com or stop by our branch. We are the one with a bright blue roof. Start earning the Bowling Green School District money today just by using your debit card. Member FDIC.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by Custom Work Salon and Tanning, the Mercantile Bank, and Pepsi.
Few scores to pass along as we are in the halftime show here at Cunningham Field. 2 minutes and 45 seconds until the start of the second half. We have some scores to pass along. Bowling Green, they are at Palmyra at halftime. They have the lead 30-0. If you are wanting to catch that game as well, it is being streamed online only, and that's via YouTube. So you can check out our YouTube page, which is where you're finding this game as well. So if you're listening, hoping you're having a good evening and enjoying some football, we have some on-air football as well. And so Jim Ross and Stason Martin are over in Pittsfield as Pittsfield Sockies have their home opener. They currently trail Olympia 22-14 at the half. So those are the games that we have on air. Bowling Green has the lead. Pittsfield is trailing, and then here it's 6-0, and the Bulldogs are leading the Crystal City Hornets.
Thank you, Maddie, and we are getting close to the end of the halftime. Players starting to file back onto the field. We mentioned the band members, of course. We mentioned the cheerleaders, and also we've got a color guard that puts in the work as well. I'd like to call attention and a shout out to them: Sam Martinik, Savannah Anderson, Emily Chandler, and Tavion Beatty. So thanks to all of those kids for the work that they do and helping make the Friday night experience of football certainly uniquely American.
As we finally found the lights in here.
Yeah, that's very helpful. you know, Rod, I expect Crystal City to come back out and maybe mix a little more passing in with their rushing. They had some success throwing the ball during their 2-minute drill here and were able to move the ball some. So let's see if their coach is willing to put the ball in the air just a little bit more than he was originally in that first half.
Well, I would think that I think they would do that and try and loosen up the Bulldog defense a little bit to get back to their staple of running. Well, this is going to wrap up the Cellular and Satellite halftime show on Eagle 102. Back with third quarter play-by-play after this.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by PJ's Salon, Noah Builders, and Reed Insurance Agency.
I'm Tyler Mills, the CEO of Pike County Memorial Hospital. You've heard it from your friends, family, and even neighbors. They choose Pike County Memorial Hospital. Quality care from quality people. Pike County Memorial Hospital.
Royal Banks is your community bank with locations throughout St. Louis, St. Charles, Northeast Missouri, Granite City, and Jerseyville, Illinois. A Royal Bank branch is not far away. Royal Banks bring experienced staff and products and services designed to meet your professional and personal financial needs. Investing in our communities, one client at a time. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal opportunity lender. The most complete coverage of high school sports is on Eagle 102, and it's brought to you by Mid-America Auto and Towing, the Mercantile Bank, and Pike County Mutual Insurance.
Cunningham Field on a Friday night, Louisiana and Crystal City. The Bulldogs on top, 6-0 as we are getting ready to start the third quarter of play. I'm Rodney Dolbear alongside Kelly Henderson, Coy Radford, and Maddie Ingram alongside as well, keeping everything flowing seamlessly. And it's good to be here. It's good to see the Bulldogs have some success, and looking forward to this second half of play.
It is, Rodney. Do you think we have enough numbers to rival the numbers of the broadcast team in Naked Gun?
Well, I think we need two more.
We need two more. It could be. It could be. And
we need two more.
I think we'll let Maddie fill in the role of Dr. Joyce Brothers.
Thank you so much for that. That's so nice of you.
I'm trying to think who else was in that booth. It was the Dodgers announcer. Remember that?
Yeah.
Vin Scully.
Vin Scully.
Yeah.
Was Jim Palmer in there?
Yeah, Jim Palmer was Euchre.
You know, we're having a discussion that probably like 70% of our audience was not alive
including Maddie.
I was going to say, and 25% of the broadcast team was not alive when the movie came out.
I like to mold. I like to fit in.
Maybe some of the younger group will, discover Leslie Nielsen and his comedy brilliance. Watch The Naked Gun.
Well, certainly, I would recommend it to anybody. We've got a minute and a half left here before they kick things off. They had a 20-minute halftime and stuck an extra 3 minutes on there just because they can. Crystal City will receive the kickoff, so Louisiana goes right back to defense. And I think an interesting storyline is going to be, will Crystal City modify their offense a little bit and throw the ball a little bit downfield and try and loosen up the running lanes? Because by and large, Louisiana did a nice job of containment.
I think so. And something else to watch for, as we get midway through that fourth quarter is, which team is better conditioned. Are we going to start having guys getting tired out there and taking some plays off and just can't go as hard as they did? And that's yet to be seen.
Well, both teams have got to feel like this is a holiday compared to what they've gone through the last 2 or 3 weeks as the season preparations ended. They no doubt had a jamboree, and then their first game when it was still miserably hot.
Yeah, heat index of what, like 119 or something?
Something like that. It was just ridiculous, and so they've got to feel like, man, this feels pretty good for sure.
Yep.
Well, we're going to take one short break as they seem to be huddled up. We'll take a quick break and be back with the second half kickoff after this on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by Gypsy Soul Salon and Boutique, Lacrosse Lumber, and Meyer Implement Company.
Cellular and Satellite Center is the only stop you need to make when it comes to satellite providers, offering DirecTV and Dish Network along with antenna installs. Now, a special message from Matthew Niemeyer himself.
If you call an 800 number and they say we will be the local installer, they are wrong.
Contact Matthew at Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green, your local authorized dealer.
Best coverage of high school sports on KJFM, brought to you by Community State Bank of Missouri, County Market, Louisiana, and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
Teams on the field. Harrison tees it up at the 40-yard line for Louisiana, and he moves into it. And a pooch kick down the left side, falling on at the 30. Once again, kept it away from the return man. Crystal City will set up 1st and 10 on their own 31 to get things underway here in the third quarter.
Up by number 10, Riley Henderson.
Riley Henderson falls on it.
Will take over.
Wisely doesn't try and pick it up and run with it. Maintains possession and gives his offense a chance.
Their number one wide receiver, Camden Mayes, is the return man, and Louisiana coaching staff must saw something in film where they didn't want him to handle the ball on the kickoffs. They are definitely kicking it away from him.
Eisenbeis will set things up. Has a single back in the backfield. Raftery. Under center, takes the snap, hands off to Raftery right up the middle. Hit at the line of scrimmage, but drags the pile forward for a gain of about 4. Call it 5. 2nd and 5. Crystal City right back to the point of attack.
Colton McCarty was first to hit the ball carrier for Crystal City. He seems to be, from the second quarter on, able to find a way to get at least a little penetration through that line.
2nd and 5, single receiver to the top of the field is Mays. 2 slots in motion. Pitch to the slot, coming to the near side to the 40, to the 45, to the 47. It's going to be a first down. And that play got into the secondary, got past the line of scrimmage pretty much untouched, and nice gain.
He was that group. There was 2 lead blockers out in front of that lead playoff tackle, and 2 of the blockers didn't even have to take a man on until about 4 yards past the line of scrimmage.
Crystal City nearing midfield at their own 48. 2 slots, left and right. Handoff hitting the backfield. Quarterback still has it. Harrison, or rather Eisenbeis, drug down in the backfield. Brandon Hughes and Colton McCarty right in the backfield. Again, a good spot. Well, that was that play where the Eisenbeis and the up back, it's a read option play, and both the runner and the quarterback were tackled for a loss. 2nd and 12.
I like what Greg and company's doing with their defensive calls right now. They're blitzing at least usually one backer on every play, and it's causing some confusion in the Crystal City offensive line.
And I think they're going to whistle. I think they're going to whistle Louisiana for offside in the neutral zone. However, it happens to be right down my line of sight, and our defensive tackle flinched, but I didn't see that he crossed the line of scrimmage at all.
No, I didn't think so either.
I mean, we couldn't be any more on the line of scrimmage than we were for that play.
And their motion man flinched forward and then started going in motion. I think that's what had our defensive tackle jump.
But he didn't jump into the neutral zone.
No.
Nonetheless, we aren't given the task of making that call, so it's now 2nd and 7 instead of 2nd and 12. Officials wind the clock as we approach the 10-minute mark of the third quarter. Eisenbeis under center. Pitch to the slot back coming in the near side. Hitting the backfield. Breaks a tackle to the 40. Inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. First down, Crystal City.
Carried by number 5,
Again, these Crystal City backs have gained a lot of yards after first contact. Louisiana's got to do a little better job. That first guy that gets in there of getting him stopped.
You got Compton operating out of one slot and Bolton operating out of the other, and they're having some success on this. Bolton in motion to the left, takes the handoff, looks to get outside. He gets to the line of scrimmage, dodges one tackle. He's out of bounds after a gain of about 8. Louisiana defender had a chance to trip him up in the backfield, couldn't quite make the tackle, and Bolton's going to step out of bounds after a gain of, let's see.
Gain of 3 on the
well, only a gain of 3, so.
Second down.
Yeah, the Louisiana defender had set a good edge to stop that play, but left his feet to make the tackle. And I'm sure that's a little fundamental that the coaching staff, Louisiana coaching staff, will work on this coming week.
2nd and 7, ball inside Louisiana territory at the 33. In motion, pitch to the slot back. Ball's on the ground. Louisiana has it. Louisiana recovers the errant pitch, and the Dogs take it away.
The pitch wasn't not that bad. The tailback just never was able to get a grip on it. Just laid it down.
Pitch intended for Compton, and he just must have taken his eyes off the ball. It got on the ground, and there was nobody but Louisiana defenders there to pounce on it.
Looks like number 7 for Louisiana, Rodney, is cramped up a little bit. I've seen him over here taking some electrolytes, trying to stretch himself out.
That is DeMarco Green, and Eric Schaefer has had him on the ground, stretching him out as well, and that was at halftime, so still kind of nursing that.
Well, Louisiana looked to air it out a little bit, and Harrison's going to be dropped for about a...
By Crystal City.
Well, he got a good spot there as well. They're going to call it a loss of about 4. I thought he had tried to avoid that contact, quite frankly, and ran backwards, but Louisiana will take that. It'll be 2nd and 13, maybe 14.
Yeah, I believe Ethan Harris's quarterback was looking for, there was supposed to be somebody there to do something and wasn't there because he had a shocked look on his face and, oh no, what's going to happen now? And he couldn't do any, he was in a position where he couldn't do a thing but have the Crystal City defenders to tackle him.
Louisiana, 2nd and 14 on their first offensive possession of the second half. Ziara splits near to the near side. Pitch back into the backfield. A host of defenders. Going to be another big loss. This one's going to be about 7.
Carried by number 20, Troy McDaniel.
Again, Crystal City's just flat not honoring that Louisiana could pass the football. They have all of their players so close to the line of scrimmage to stop the run.
Well, and Corey, you mentioned that Louisiana's success running, really, a lot of it was inside the tackles in that first half, and they've tried to get outside the tackles a couple of times here, and they're marching backwards. It's 3rd and 19.
The edge is not there The slow developing plays to the edge are even worse. They need to just take up 3 yards at a time and just matriculate down the field.
Harrison bends under center, takes a snap, looks to pass, has a man open in the flat as the arrow at the 30 to the 35, out of bounds, maybe at the 36. So a nice gain there. Got about half the yardage back and puts them in a position with a punt to get Crystal City back in their own end.
Brings up 4th and long for the Bulldogs.
Scoring update from Palmyra as Bowling Green, they were able to convert on a pass from SQ to Easton Orth, 37-0 now the score. So they are in the third quarter up at Palmyra. Bowling Green leads 37-0.
7 minutes, 30 seconds left here in the third quarter. Louisiana with a 4th and 10 at their own 37. Looks like they're going to go for it. They do. Coming to the near side, and that play had no chance. And Louisiana's going to turn it over on downs. We've got a penalty flag. It's going to be some kind of after the play extracurricular activity. That did not go the way the Bulldogs would like it.
DeMarco Green is a little gimpy again out there. I don't know if he's having some cramp issues or if he has a little soft tissue something happening, but he's not walking with a very good gait right now.
Well, we're going to get the word from the officials. Well, they picked up the flag, it appears. Now it's so Louisiana turns it over on downs at the 35. Unsportsmanlike conduct on Louisiana marches at another 15. So this possession went backwards for Louisiana, to say the least, and Crystal City's going to have it inside the 20 to start their second possession of the second half.
They're going to have to bow up now. Let Crystal City work with a very short field here.
Well, that last play on 4th down, they lined up in their normal punt formation, and Harrison never dropped back to punt, but I don't know exactly what the intention was, but nonetheless, Bulldogs defense now on the field and need to pull up and have a stop. Crystal City lines up, officials tending to something. And here we go. Eyes and buys under center. Handoff up the middle to the up back Raftery. He gets good yardage, going to pick up nearly 10 yards.
Yeah, that time Crystal City definitely won the surge on the line. It looked like the majority of the Bulldogs were back 2 yards after the snap of the ball.
Crystal City has come out with a different energy at the snap of the ball so far here in the third quarter.
1st and goal for Crystal City.
1st and goal, Crystal City. Ball at the 9-yard line. Eyes and buys. Rolls out to the right. Looks right. Hit at the 10-yard line. Stumbles forward to the 5. And it'll be 2nd and goal from the 5.
Quarterback keeper brings up 2nd and goal for Crystal City.
Eyes and buys. I think that was just pretty much a design rollout run. He may have had a pass option. I don't know.
He may have. I do know that he had a blocker in front of him, so it looked like they pulled or motioned a man over to get out in front of him quick.
Crystal City has certainly run some different plays in their playbook to start things here in the second half. 2nd and goal. Eisenby keeps it, dives forward towards the end zone. Touchdown, Crystal City. And Eisenby ties it at 6.
Eisenby with the carry.
Just a little counter lead on the left side of their offensive line, and they were able to get through. The It'd be interesting to see what they do on this 2-point conversion. I can't imagine them doing anything but running some sort of power perimeter play to go in. They've had a lot of success with that.
Eisenbach has a single receiver to the near side, pitch to the slot back, running around the left side, and in for the 2-point conversion. And Crystal City with their first lead of the night, 8-6.
Yeah. Pitcher and company are going to have to get figured out what they need to do to get that power perimeter play stopped.
8-6 Crystal City with their first lead of the night here in the third quarter. We'll take a short break. Be back with more on Eagle 102 after this.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by All Parts, Kayla Caldwell, certified financial planner with Edward Jones, and Ann Lane Boutique.
From the classic cheesesteak and rich crab cakes, a taste of Philly in Bowling Green is a fan favorite. A meal ready for you before or after the game, and game day jerseys are welcome. Open 7 days a week. A taste of Philly. Business Highway 54 West in Bowling Green.
Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy, where the #1 priority is the customer and adding new services to help simplify your life and building a strong, high-performance financial services organization. Community State Bank in Bowling Green and Troy, your community bank since 1887, member FDIC.
Area high school sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, State Farm Insurance, Cindy Blaylock agent, Perkins Electrical Services, and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
After the 16-yard scoring drive, Crystal City converts the 2-point conversion and now has their first lead of the evening, 8-6. Been pretty much all Crystal City here in the second half with the exception of the fumble recovered by Louisiana. That ensuing drive went backwards about 15 yards and then tacked on another 15 with an unsportsmanlike. Crystal City was able to punch it in. Kickoff from Crystal City. Comes to the up back at the 20, to the 25-30, still on his feet to the 35, to the 40, gets to the outside, to the 50, to the 40, run out of bounds at the 40-yard line. Ethan Harrison, the up back, takes it, makes one move, puts a foot in the ground and turns it upfield and gives Louisiana some good starting field position.
I would like to call Ethan Harrison Louisiana's version of a Swiss knife, but as short as their numbers are, there's numerous guys that have to do numerous things to make this thing work.
They're going to mark him out of bounds at the 45, the Crystal City 45-yard line, 1st and 10. So great field position for the Bulldogs as we start their second play. We'll take a short break as the players are on water break. Back with more after this on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by La Roots Hair Salon and Tanning, Sun Window Company, and MASH.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades, and that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Ask me, Ashley Jenkins, about Shelter's auto, home, and life options.
Follow area high school sports throughout the season on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Veolia Landscape Supply, Royal Banks, and a taste of Philly.
Well, nice return for Louisiana and Ethan Harrison, and he'll lead the offense back on the field. Louisiana, 2 to the near side, 2 to the far side, single back in the backfield. Harrison lines up in the shotgun formation. So this is different today. We haven't seen this yet. Louisiana trying to create some spacing. Looks out to the right, has a man in the flat. Hit and driven back. It's going to be a gain of about 3.
Yeah, Crystal City's cornerback came up and timed that hit almost perfectly on the shot. It was a nice job by the Louisiana receiver to hang on to that ball because he didn't have very long to have it in his hands before he got popped.
He got popped after about a 2.5-yard gain, and he ended up on the ground about 9 or 10 yards behind that.
Yep.
Cooper did a good job to hold on to it because he had a pretty good blow delivered.
Yep. That's the time Louisiana's pretty happy about the forward progress rule.
2nd and 8. Timeout, Louisiana. Timeout on the field as Louisiana wants to talk it over. We'll step aside as well. This is Louisiana High School football on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by Bip Veach and Collier Funeral Homes, Calumet of Missouri, and Kearns Construction.
Ingram Plumbing has always been known for its outstanding plumbing service, but did you know that Ingram's is also the largest retail plumbing supply store in the area? We carry Delta faucets, a complete line of Whirlpool tubs and showers, jacuzzi pumps, and many other specialty items. Stop by Ingram Plumbing today, Highway 61, Bowling Green.
The Mercantile Bank of Louisiana is introducing MercBK Mobile. With the ability to take a picture of your check and deposit it into your Mercantile Bank account, you'll never have to worry about getting to the bank. Find more information by visiting mercbk.com. The Mercantile Bank, located on the corner of 3rd and Georgia Streets in downtown Louisiana. Member FDIC.
The area's best coverage of high school sports on Eagle 102, brought to you by Pike County Health Department, People's Savings Bank, and All Parts.
After the break, Louisiana quickly out of the huddle. They come to the line of scrimmage very fast. Back under center, Harrison. Hands off to the up back. Rumbling forward for a nice gain. Going to pick up about 7. Going to bring up 3rd and short.
Corey, there's your quick hitter between the tackles that they're getting some positive yardage on.
It's there. 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 equals a first down.
Yep.
And they need to take advantage of the short yardage here, the short field.
That wasn't the most favorable mark. However, it's going to be third and about 2.5. Quickly out of the huddle, I formation. Single receiver to the near side, under center Harrison. Again, the fullback up the middle. First down yardage across the 35, down to the 33.
The acceleration that fullback is getting and hitting those gaps as quick as he's hitting them is not giving the Crystal City defense time to react to that. So I would look for that to continue to go until Crystal City puts a stop at it.
Brady Shepard with a couple of nice runs and just really quick hitter. DeMarco Green back into the game. Out of the huddle once again quickly. I formation, Green dots the I behind Harrison and Shepard. Shepard with the carry. Again, going to pick up 4 or 5 yards. Very nice execution and a good game.
Yep, you would take that on first down every time. If they give it to you, never make you run a play.
Game 4 on the play brings up 2nd down and 6.
It ain't pretty, but it's effective.
That's right.
2nd and 6, 3:46 left in the 3rd period. Crystal City 8, Louisiana 6. Bulldogs with the drive.
And guys, as you know from playing offensive line, whenever you're able to do that time after time, pretty soon those defensive linemen get tired quick.
Harrison under center.
There we go.
Drew him offside, I believe.
Yep.
Well, and what they were either going to do or showing that they were going to do is basically bring everybody up the middle to stop that. That's going to give you some opportunities to bounce one outside.
Absolutely.
Maybe a fake dive here and a little jet sweep.
Offside on the defense, 5-yard penalty.
Belly the fullback, Shepard, and come around the end with Green and Harrison.
Yeah, there's just so many things you could do if they sell out to stop that up the middle.
So it's 2nd and 3 now.
A little pop pass to the tight end, Kelly.
That would be nice.
Harrison under center. Handoff.
Oh,
that'll do it. Handoff to the fullback. Shepard drilled for no gain. Maybe a gain of half a yard. Pop down definitively.
Yeah, what's good is the Louisiana offense has established a threat that Crystal City seems like that they need to send some extra guys on to stop now. So as you guys were saying earlier, that definitely opens up a lot of other plays.
Ciarawa brings the play in. He'll split out to the far side with Martin. I backfield. Under center Harrison. Handoff again up the middle. Now pitch it to Green, to the 25, breaks to the 20, to the 15, to the 10. Out of bounds there. Louisiana will have a 1st and goal. And Green down. I think he's got a cramp again, but that was a good play there, just like we talked about. And they bellied the handoff to Shepard and ran a nice fake.
And the Crystal City defenders sold out to stop that middle A gap fullback pop that Louisiana's ran almost all the way down the field. And Green only had one defender to beat after the pitch. So, and I believe with his speed and agility, he's going to win that battle 9 out of 10 times.
He's on the sideline now. He's definitely fighting cramps. And, boy, once those start, it is very difficult for them to just go away. So he'll sit this one out. They mark it at the 11, so Louisiana can get a first down without scoring a touchdown. Under center, handoff to the tailback, now kept by the quarterback, Harrison. Looked like some confusion there on what was supposed to be happening, and Harrison's going to lose about 2 or 3.
Yeah, there was definitely some miscommunication on what was supposed to happen that play. It's probably about the 4th time we've seen that tonight with Louisiana offense. So I'm sure there's, like second game of the season, there's a few more wrinkles that will have to be ironed out.
With Green on the sideline, Shepard moves into the tailback position. 13 on the play clock as Louisiana breaks the huddle. It'll be 2nd and 12. I believe that's Tommy Black at the fullback. Handoff up the middle to the 10 to the 8. Nice run by Shepard.
Brady Shepard.
That'll bring up 3rd and about 7.
I'll tell you what, guys. I just watched the safeties and the linebackers, and everybody's biting up. Everybody's biting up on the running play. That tight end would just walk in.
Yeah, if they can get enough time to get the ball dumped off to him.
Yes.
They're bringing so many people that poor Ethan Harrison would have to make a very quick decision, and sometimes those real quick decisions aren't always the best ones when you're trying to throw a football.
3rd and 7, Harrison hands off to Shepard, running to the left, bounces inside the 5, still on his feet, fighting for first down yardage. Going to be very, very close, a little bit short, I think. Going to be 4th and about half a yard.
We'll bring up 4th and short for the Bulldogs.
Had a big pile, a big scrum. I thought they might get him pushed into the end zone. They're going to mark him about a full yard short. And that's going to do it as time runs out in the 3rd quarter. 8-6 Crystal City. We'll be back with the 4th quarter after this on Eagle 102.
Crystal City 8.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by the Keeley Center, Service and Supply Co-op, and Ameriprise Certified Financial Planner Tamara Scherter.
On every journey, you should enjoy peace of mind. I'm Corey Buchanan at Pike County Mutual Insurance Company. We take pride in keeping you protected. That's why we offer discounts for good students, safe driving, and more. Trust us to look out for the road ahead. For a free insurance quote on your home, auto, farm, or ATV needs, give myself or
Shelley Clucky
a call today. Pike County Mutual Insurance Company on the square in Bowling Green.
As many as 50% of people don't take their medication as prescribed. Missing or not taking medication can be deadly. For questions about medication, visit your local Health Mart pharmacy, Bowling Green Pharmacy, located right on the square at 8 North Court in Bowling Green.
Area high school sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Rod Prentice and Brenda Crawford, State Farm Agents, Pepsi, and Ackles Farm Market.
We are at Cunningham Field. 1 quarter of play to play here. 12 minutes left in this one. Louisiana has it 4th and 1 at about the 3-yard line. Obviously, they can get a first down without scoring a touchdown.
Well, I mean, there are a few seats left here, but for what we've seen in the past years, we've got a fair to good crowd here to watch this football game.
Well, it's really, I mean, it was a little warm at the first, but it really wasn't bad outside. It was a little bit warm in the press box, simply because it's a little bit of an oven.
Yes, that's correct. You know, I always look for the young elementary students that are watching these ball games because, you know, again, back when the dinosaurs were around, that seemed to be what the elementary kids wanted to do. They wanted to be out there on that field, and they wanted to be the guy.
Harrison quarterback sneak. He's going backwards now. Looks like they're going to say touchdown. Touchdown. L.A. Bulldogs. Harrison gets in. Well, it looked like he got good surge. I thought he had the first down for sure. And they had him actually pushed back in the backfield before they finally signaled touchdown.
They did. It's nice to be able to see a Louisiana ball carrier to break a tackle off of first contact like Crystal City's backs have done for the majority of the night. And the Louisiana offensive line got a fair surge there, but that was sure will by Ethan Harrison to carry that ball on into the goal line.
12-8 Louisiana. They line up for the two-point conversion. Harrison takes a snap, hands off up the middle to Shepard. He's going to be stopped short. Nonetheless, a good answer for the Bulldogs. 12-8, just underway here in the fourth quarter. Back with more on Eagle 102 after this.
Louisiana 12, Crystal City.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by Brian and Heather White with White Insurance Agency, DG Firearms, and Hayden's Motorsports Center.
The Mercantile Bank of Louisiana is introducing Merc BK Mobile. With the ability to take a picture of your check and deposit it into your Mercantile Bank account, you'll never have to worry about getting to the bank. Find more information by visiting mercbk.com. The Mercantile Bank, located on the corner of 3rd and Georgia Streets in downtown Louisiana. Member FDIC. The Mercantile Bank of Louisiana is introducing Merc BK Mobile. With the ability to take a picture of your check and deposit it into your Mercantile Bank account, you'll never have to worry about getting to the bank. Find more information by visiting mercbk.com. The Mercantile Bank, located on the corner of 3rd and Georgia Streets in downtown Louisiana. Member FDIC.
Area High School Sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Cellular and Satellite Center, Pike County Memorial Hospital, and Community State Bank of Missouri.
Number 13, Ethan Harrison.
Well, Harrison tees it up on the 40 as we're ready to roll here in the fourth quarter, just underway. Louisiana with the 4th and 1 3-yard run from Harrison to give the Bulldogs the lead, 12-8. Harrison moves into it, kind of a squib kick along the right side, ball's down. Here's the reality there, folks. They blew the whistle and the ball was not secured. Nonetheless, Crystal City recovered it, but that was a quick whistle.
Yeah, I'm not sure that Ethan Harrison got all that ball that he wanted to kick. They've been trying to squib it to the up man, to the up back there, and he didn't. I think he might have mishit that just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Yeah. Ball's going to be spotted at the 41. They've been liking to put that little pooch kick down in around the 30, where if it's not fielded, it rolls down inside the 30, 25, something like that. And this one just a little off the side of his foot.
Yep.
So Eisenby's back on the field with Crystal City. He bends under center. Hand off to their up back, Rafferty. Ball's out. Ball's out. Let's see what happens. Ball is out. Louisiana thinks they have it. And they do. Bulldog with the recovery.
So Crystal City tries to come back and give Louisiana a little medicine with a quick hitter in the A gap, and the defensive line was able to be there quick and strip the ball and wind up with the ball and give it back to the offense.
First down, Louisiana. They have it inside Crystal City territory at the 44-yard line. And momentum right now, certainly, on the side of the Louisiana Bulldogs.
They've got to take advantage of these turnovers, Rodney.
Well, this is a great opportunity if they could put a drive together and get that always important second two-score lead. 44 yards between the line of scrimmage and making that happen. Harrison breaks the huddle. He comes to the line of scrimmage with an eye backfield. Two receivers to the top of the field. Handoff right up the middle to Shepard. Again, a nice gain on first down. Pick up about 3 or 4.
Gain of 4.
You know, you're watching that outside linebacker for Crystal City over on the left side of the Louisiana line. The minute Louisiana come up to the ball, he started a little more than a creep. He was almost sprinting on that blitz, and hopefully the offensive line and in fact everybody else is able to see that where if that needs to be picked up, that has got to happen.
17-15 on the play clock as Louisiana breaks the huddle with 12. Quickly to the line of scrimmage, 2 receivers to the near side, I backfield behind Harrison. Under center, handoff, Shepard. Looked like the ball came loose, but it didn't. Nonetheless, it's going to be a loss of about 1. That time, Crystal City blew it up, and they were in the backfield almost at the same time that Shepard got the handoff.
Carried by number 9, Brady Shepard. No gain on the play. Brings up.
So that brings up a third and a long 8. 10:43 left in the fourth quarter. Louisiana with the ball and a 4-point lead.
You know, it still appears the way that Crystal City's calling their defense now, it's Louisiana, you may beat me somewhere else, but you're not going to beat me up the A-gap anymore.
They've made an adjustment, and we'll see what Louisiana comes with the counter.
A scoring update from Pittsfield. The Sakis now trail the Olympia Spartans 29-14, 3:12 left to play in the third quarter. So once again, they are trailing the Spartans 29-14.
Harrison pass over the middle intended for Wyatt Martin. It falls incomplete, nearly intercepted.
Yeah, there was a ton of pressure on Ethan Harrison that time. And I'm really surprised somebody else wasn't open there. As many people as Crystal City bought on the blitz.
Seemed like they had one busload in the backfield, and the receiver they threw it to had the other busload covering him.
Surely they punt here, guys, right?
Well, it's 4th down. He's not in punt formation. Now
he is.
Now Ethan drops back in their punt formation. Takes the snap. Kick is away down the left side. Good kick. Gets a very favorable bounce inside the 15 to the 11-yard line. Nice job there by Ethan. Pinned Crystal City deep. And Crystal City has a long field now. They'll have it 1st and 10 from their own 11.
Yeah, Louisiana wasn't able to take advantage of the turnover there, but maybe the defense can create another one here.
Well, they went back to what was the staple of their scoring drive, did Louisiana, and Crystal City made an adjustment and took that away. So now it's time for the counter punch.
Right.
Crystal City trails by 8. Eisenbass will bend under center with Raftery, the lone setback. 2 slots. Optioning to the near side, looking to throw, rolling out, and is just going to dump it away. Nobody there.
Pass is incomplete.
Good pressure. Quarterback never had a chance to set up and look for anybody, and just had to dump the ball out of bounds to prevent a big loss.
Yeah, both coaches that are calling the defenses are sending a lot of extra guys tonight. At some point, it could possibly bite them for the big play, but until it does, I'd say they're going to continue to send a lot of people.
Well, it bit Crystal City in the first half with the long touchdown drive, and but I mean, you know, we've said it before. Both of these, there's some opportunities in the passing game, but they're not passing teams, so you make them beat you at what they don't do well, and if they do, we've got a flag. I believe that's going to be procedure against Crystal City.
Yeah, it looked like the left guard moved for Crystal City.
Somebody threw a flag. Now they're going to call offsides on the Bulldogs.
I sure thought that left guard flinched, and then our defensive tackle went on his movement, but I don't guess that's what the referee saw. So
be 2nd and 5 now. The down marker is incorrect. There we go.
2nd and 5.
I seem to remember a game where they allowed too many downs one time.
Yeah.
2nd and 5. Eisenbys under center. Pitches to Bolton, sticks a foot in the ground. Going to get up near the first down yardage. No further damage, but it will be, what did they say? It's going to be 3rd down and short. Louisiana needs to blow this one up. I thought Bolton got the first down there.
Yeah, I did too. But their mark has been a little bit off of where we think we're seeing them go down at all night. So, you know, Rodney, it's been enjoyable to see teams that are trying to run this much. You don't see that a lot in today's high school football.
No, you don't. Big play for Louisiana here, 3rd and 1. Handoff right up the middle. I don't know where the spot's going to be. Looks like the far official is going to give him the line to gain, 1st down.
Yeah.
Didn't get much.
No.
That was handoff to Raftery right up the middle.
They're moving the markers.
They are moving the markers. It'll be 1st down. 9 minutes left in the 4th quarter.
Ball was on Crystal City's 23-yard line.
And the officials wind the clock.
Now is the time that we have to look at what we talked about at halftime about the conditioning factor. You know, we're getting close to midway in this 4th quarter, and we're going to see, you know, whose legs are still underneath of them and whose are not.
1st and 10, Crystal City. Eisenbeis has a lone back in motion, one slot back. Looks straight back to pass, airs it out over the middle, has an open receiver.
Oh. Boy, they're going to call pass interference there. Defensive pass interference, but the defensive back had his head around looking for the ball.
And they kind of got a little bit tangled up, but the official that threw the flag had no idea how much separation there was between the defender and the receiver. It was right across the line of scrimmage, or right across the field from us here in the booth, and I just don't see it. Nonetheless, they did not buzz in for input from the booth.
No.
On the defense.
That's the first pass play I've seen from Crystal City all night that they didn't roll out. It was just a straight drop back.
Yeah.
And he had time and put a decent throw underneath it.
Yeah, but definitely had it covered, and you know, I didn't have the best line to see what happened behind, but I'm not sure that their wide receiver didn't run into our defender's feet there and get tangled.
It was incidental.
1st and 10, ball at the 37, 8-12 with Louisiana on top. Crystal City has it under center. Handoff to Raftery, bouncing it to the outside. Sticks his foot in the ground, comes into the scrum at the 40, might be across to the 41. Short gain. It'll be 2nd and 8. Nice job there by the Louisiana defense to not yield.
2nd and 8.
Yeah, that would have been pretty easy for him to do, to have a, oh man, we got a bad call against us, and to start getting lackadaisical, especially this late in the game. But they bowed right up, made a surge, and made a decent stop there.
Hayes splits to the wide side of the field. That's closest to the Louisiana bench. Ball on the right hash. Eisenbeis under center. End around to the right side. A little misdirection on the sweep. Faked at the fullback. And I believe that was either Bolton or Compton. One with a big gain into Louisiana territory. Let's see where they mark him out at. Going to be inside the 45.
Carried by number 5.
Crystal City, except for the fumbles, does I think a little better than average job for a small high school team of handling the ball in the backfield. There's a lot of fakes, so that quarterback has to be sure that ball's where it's supposed to be.
Well,
where it's supposed to be there.
Far side of the field, Bolton must have stepped out of bounds. It's at the Crystal City 49, but it is 1st and 10. Eisenbeis under center. Pitch to the slot back in motion to the right. Spinning at the line of scrimmage across the 50 to the 45, all the way down to the Louisiana 42. And a nice gain by Compton on 1st down. It's going to be 2nd and short. And once again, traction being gained from Crystal City. They're starting to get some push, some misdirection that seems to be working pretty well right now against Louisiana.
Yeah, they seem to have fell into this little power lead off tackle. On each side, and until Louisiana stops it, I look for Crystal City to continue to run some version of that.
Mays splits to the near side. Compton in motion. Fake to him, back to the inside on the counter. Their other slot back, and that was a very well thought out play.
Come on, guys.
1st down, Landon DeRose.
Carried by number 17.
With the carry.
Landon DeRose.
Louisiana's got a man down, Colton McCarty.
1st and 10.
Which has had a good night tonight.
on the Louisiana 37-yard line.
First and 10, Crystal City. Louisiana 37. This drive really doing a nice job of mixing it up. Some misdirection and some counter-type movement that's getting some seams. This time the handoff on a straight pitch to Bolton. Looks to set up blockers. Makes one man miss to the 25 to the 20. He's into the clear.
Got a flag down.
He's in the end zone, however. We've got a flag down at the 35-yard line.
It looks like a hold to me.
Yeah, it was a hold out here on the receiver. But can I say something real quick, guys? You could see them building that play to the left. They had more blockers out to the left than we had defenders out on the right.
Yeah, and that's the base of their offense from what I've seen. You know, they like to run the perimeter, and they like to play the numbers game and try to get more numbers out there than have defenders. So
Holding on the offense.
Well, that penalty flag is huge, prevents the touchdown. And instead of a touchdown, Crystal City, it's going to mark it back. Probably we're looking at first and 15, 16, something like that. 10 yards from the spot of the foul, and they drop the flag about the 35.
A few scoring updates. Bowling Green is leading Palmyra 44-8, and the Pittsfield Sockies still trail the Olympia Spartans 35-14, 7:38 left to play in the fourth quarter in Pittsfield.
5:48 left, Rod. The clock is going to become a factor here very quickly.
A stop right here would be huge. First and 17. Belly to the fullback. They hand off to Rafferty right up the middle. Going to pick up about 5 or 6 yards. Not a huge play, but certainly a good positive yardage play.
No, and again, we had a Louisiana defender to make first contact before he got to the line of scrimmage, but it just doesn't seem like on a lot of these that they're able to stop them on first contact, which is credit to the Crystal City runners at this point.
That Rafferty is a very hard runner, low to the ground. He's a single back. Handoff, fake to him. Quarterback Eisenbach keeps it. Ball's out. Louisiana thinks they have it. No signal yet. Yes, first down Louisiana. What a huge play. Huge play by the Bulldog defense.
Looks like Brady Shepard come up with the recovery on that.
Shepard having a nice game. They're going to take a break here on the change of possession. We'll take a break as well. Back with more after this on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by Lynn's Heritage House, Bill Allen Auction Services, and Knight Equipment Company.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Ask me, Ashley Jenkins, about Shelter's auto, home, and life options.
Ingram Plumbing has always been known for its outstanding plumbing service, but did you know that Ingram's is also the largest retail plumbing supply store in the area? We carry Delta faucets, a complete line of Whirlpool tubs and showers, jacuzzi pumps, and many other specialty items. Stop by Ingram Plumbing today, Highway 61, Bowling Green.
Follow area high school sports on KJFM Radio. Brought to you by Brown's Processing and Smokehouse Meats, Young Enterprises, and Family Drug.
Huge momentum shift in the game. 5 minutes even left in the fourth quarter. Quickly out of the huddle. And a flag on the play. Looks like
there is a flag on the field.
Looks like it's going to be procedure against Louisiana.
Yeah, I'm not sure that everybody got set. They tried to go with the sprint out of the huddle and the quick snap, and I just don't think everybody got set on that.
It is false start.
False start on the offense.
Louisiana this half has been running that look out of the huddle. Everybody to the line of scrimmage quick, and have been having success with it. And as you mentioned, just did not get everybody set long enough for that play to get off. 1st and 15. Harrison comes in from the sideline with the play. Officials wind the play clock. It won't be an issue as it just now begins to run. 2 receivers to the far side. I backfield behind Harrison under center. Takes the snap, looks at the tailback, hitting the backfield. Tried to bounce it outside to Shepard, and there was one man there that happened to catch him as he tried to bounce it outside. Had that man not made that tackle, he was going to bounce it outside and take it a long way.
Yeah, he had Green for a long way, but they do a nice job with their backside support, and they're disciplined that way. I don't see them sell out very often.
That brings up 2nd and about 16. Again, a pretty good spot for Louisiana. Only a loss of 1 yard there.
If Louisiana runs a run play here, Rodney, and Crystal City stops them, do you call a timeout if you're Crystal City?
Well, I think you're beginning to think about that for sure. Snap to Harrison. He looks to roll out and pass. Throws to a man in the flat. Had him open at the 35, off the fingertips of the receiver.
Just a hair behind the receiver. If he had just let him maybe even another foot, 12 inches, I think it was there. But Harrison had quite a few people in his face to even get the ball off. So
pass intended for Black, just over his outstretched arms. As important as the not getting the yardage, the clock stops on its own.
We have a final from Palmyra as the Bowling Green Bobcats improved to 2-0 on the year. They pick up the win 44-8. Once again, that final 44-8. Bowling Green Bobcats improved to 2-0 on the season.
Louisiana breaks the huddle with 5 on the play clock. Going to have to hurry with 4. With 3, Harrison under center. Gets the snap off, handoff right up the middle to the fullback. Still driving for yardage. Going to pick up 2 or 3. And now, Corey, this is the question. Does Crystal City choose to stop the clock or not? 3:52 left in the play. It's going to be 4th and long.
That play call, it appears that Pitzer and company have decided that they're going to put this game in the hands of the defense.
Do you bring your best pump block here that you've been practicing?
I think I would if I'm Crystal City's head coach. They, they haven't kicked to the returner all night long.
Mm-hmm.
I think you go after it.
Harrison now moves back into the conventional punt formation. Good snap. Low kick. Receiver picks it up at the 25 to the 30 to the 35. Catch to his right. Has some Bulldogs out there. Still now circles back. Ball's loose! Ball's loose! Louisiana, the 4th turnover of the night.
As the Crystal City returner was trying to make something special happen, he was losing yardage, and he stayed up for so long that a Bulldog defender was able to get to it and rip the ball out and get it recovered.
Camden Mays was trying to make something happen, and it was not what he intended to have happen for sure.
It's the Bulldogs! First down!
2:54 left in the 4th quarter. Louisiana with the ball and a 4-point lead. Crystal City has all of their timeouts, so Louisiana's going to have to move the ball and get some first downs to put this game away. Otherwise, Crystal City will have an opportunity. Well, quarterback sneak's going to gain 2 or 3, and Crystal City does use a timeout.
Yeah, Louisiana has went into clock eating mode now with 2:48 left.
Well, I think what you need to do with, yes, they forced them to use their timeout, but now you look at getting a first down. If you can get a first down in these next 2 plays, and then the clock gets on your side, because if you run 2 more short plays, they use both their timeouts, then they're going to have somewhere around 2.5 minutes left, and that is certainly plenty of time to get in the end zone. But we'll see what Coach Pitcher dials up. We'll take a short break. Be back with the closeout of this game shortly on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by Custom Works Salon and Tanning, the Mercantile Bank, and Pepsi.
On every journey, you should enjoy peace of mind. I'm Corey Buchanan at Pike County Mutual Insurance Company. We take pride in keeping you protected. That's why we offer discounts for good students, safe driving, and more. Trust us to look out for the road ahead. For a free insurance quote on your home, auto, farm, or ATV needs, give myself or
Shelley Clucky
a call today. Pike County Mutual Insurance Company on the square in Bowling Green.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Ask me, Ashley Jenkins, about Shelter's auto, home, and life options.
High school sports on your area sports leader, Eagle 102. Brought to you by Bowling Green Tractor, Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, and Ingram Plumbing.
After the timeout, Shepard with the handoff. He runs to his left, is met by a host of tacklers from Crystal City, loses about a half a yard. It'll be 3rd and 9 after the timeout, their second of the night, or the second of the half. 1 timeout left, 2:38 left on the clock. So barring a first down here, we'll keep it right here and talk about it. Barring a first down, obviously Crystal City's going to get the ball back with plenty of time to score. Again, not a passing team, so anytime that, assuming they have to use their last timeout, anytime they're tackled in the field of play, your clock's going to run and clock will work against them. However, they're going to have plenty of time to mount a scoring drive. Ideally for the Bulldogs, draw something up here that gets them a first down.
You know what? That would be best case. But if they don't and they have to punt the ball away, I look for them to. We're looking at a scenario like we had at the end of the first half, with Crystal City battling the clock trying to get to the end zone, which wound up 3 yards short for them.
Do you run something to the wide side to take a little bit more time off the clock and tell your running back to slide and not go out of bounds?
You certainly don't want to go out of bounds. You want to force them to use their third timeout or burn some clock. Harrison under center, I backfield behind him. Handoff fake, looking to roll to his right. Has a man stiff armed. Looked like
put that ball away.
Looked like the defender for Crystal City almost got the face mask of Harrison, but he did not. Clock will be stopped with the third timeout. 2:26 left in the fourth quarter. So we'll step aside for a break now before the next drive for Crystal City. This is Eagle 102 in high school sports.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by PJ's Salon, Noah Builders, and Reed Insurance Agency.
Royal Banks is your community bank with locations throughout St. Louis, St. Charles, Northeast Missouri, Granite City, and Jerseyville, Illinois. A Royal Bank branch is not far away. Royal Banks bring experienced staff and products and services designed to meet your professional and personal financial needs. Investing in our communities, one client at a time. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal opportunity lender.
Cellular and Satellite Center is the only stop you need to make when it comes to satellite providers, offering DirecTV and Dish Network along with antenna installs. Now a special message from Matthew Niemeyer himself.
If you call an 800 number and they say we will be the local installer, they are wrong.
Contact Matthew at Cellular and Satellite Center in Bowling Green, your local authorized dealer.
The most complete coverage of high school sports is on Eagle 102, and it's brought to you by Mid-America Auto and Towing, the Mercantile Bank, and Pike County Mutual Insurance.
Louisiana back after the timeout. Harrison slides back in the conventional punt formation. Ball's on the 35, takes the good snap, eyes it up, angles it down the right side, a little pooch kick. It hits inside the 5, inside the 3. It'll be dead at the 1 yard line.
What a great punt. able to kill that just short of the goal line and avoid the touchback.
1 yard line.
Crystal City has 99 yards, 2 minutes and 19 seconds, and no timeouts.
Ethan looked where they weren't and just absolutely hit the perfect punt. This would be a wonderful time for a negative yardage play.
That was a heck of a wedge shot, Rodney.
It was.
Yep. Got a lot of spin on it. Screws must have been clean.
Ball hit down inside the 5, actually.
So with a score of 12-8, Louisiana, Crystal City just needs a touchdown for the victory here.
2 minutes, 19 seconds. Eisenbeis comes to the line of scrimmage. He stands on his own goal line. Drops back into the end zone. Airs it out down the right side.
Ball was tipped.
And it's going to be caught at the 18-yard line. And really that ball being tipped probably allowed the receiver to come back and make a play on it. Louisiana had good coverage, but once the ball was tipped, the receiver came back, and it's 1st and 10 at the 17. Pitch to the right side, angling up into the middle. Hit. Going to be near another first down. Going to be just short, so the clock continues to run. 2:03. It's going to be second and 1.
Brings up 2nd and short for Crystal City.
It'd be a great time for the 5th turnover of the night for Louisiana. Pitch bolt to Mays to the right side, first down and more. He's out across the 40 to the 45. They're going to mark him at the 47. Out of bounds, the clock stops. This is too much. They're giving up too much.
Crystal City first down.
Looks like Mays is down.
We have a final score from Pittsfield. The Sakis fell to the Olympia Spartans 35-14. Once again, that final score 35-14. Pittsfield falls to 0-2 on the year.
We were talking during the last commercial break about you can't let them beat you outside because they can run out of bounds and stop the clock. Filter it inside, make the tackle, keep the clock running.
Yeah, you've got to set the edge. They will kill you on the perimeter all night long if you don't have somebody setting your edge for you.
Well, the spot comes all the way back to the 42-yard line. The Crystal City 42. 58 yards from the end zone, a minute and 43 seconds left. So too many yards in too short a period of time for Louisiana at this point.
Timeout. What is it? No.
We've got an injured player on the far sideline. The officials are going to send the players to their respective benches. We'll step aside for a short break and be back with the conclusion of this game on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by Gypsy Soul Salon and Boutique, Lacrosse Lumber, and Meyer Implement Company.
This is Tracy Brookshire with Pike County Health Department Home Health and Hospice. Our agency is currently looking to hire multiple positions: RNs, LPNs, CNAs, physical therapist assistants, and breastfeeding peer counselor, all from full-time to part-time to contracted. Please visit our website at www.pikecountyhealth.org for more information and to apply online.
Your car, your stuff, your savings. Combine your auto and renter's insurance with a call to State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana, and let Cindy show you how to put life back in your life insurance. Auto, home, and life. Make your wallet happy. Here to help life go right, State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana.
Bowling Green Tractor wants to change the way you think about yard work with their Ego 56-volt ARC lithium battery-powered lawnmowers, weed eaters, blowers, trimmers, and chainsaws. At Bowling Green Tractor, you can walk in and see for yourself just how easy these products are to handle. Bowling Green Tractor, your home for Ego. Power beyond belief.
This is Tara Grody, and People's Savings Bank is excited to announce the Bobcat debit card. People's Savings Bank.
I'm Tylee Mills, the CEO of Pike County Memorial Hospital. You've heard it from your friends, family, and even neighbors. They choose Pike County Memorial Hospital. Quality care from quality people. Pike County Memorial Hospital.
Royal Banks is your community bank with locations throughout St. Louis, St. Charles, Northeast Missouri, Granite City, and Jerseyville, Illinois. A Royal Bank branch is not far away. Royal Banks bring experienced staff and products and services designed to meet your professional and personal financial needs. Investing in our communities, one client at a time. Call 314-212-1500 today. Royal Banks of Missouri, member FDIC and equal opportunity lender. Best coverage of high school sports on KJFM, brought to you by Community State Bank of Missouri, County Market, Louisiana, and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
Well, officials and staff still tending to the injured Crystal City player on the far sideline. Both teams have taken a knee and are meeting with their respective coaching staffs. I believe that was the ball carrier who was injured going out of bounds on the far sideline of the field. I certainly can't see a number from here, and you just been fairly, with the exception of some cramps, there's been fairly injury-free so far this evening, but this one looks fairly severe as they're still working on the player on the ground.
I believe it was Camden Mays, which is their primary receiver on the in the passing game, and if that's the case, that kind of takes a weapon away from Crystal City that they definitely need in this type of situation.
Well, they have the player up and moving toward the bench, and we're about to get things fired back up. So here we are, a minute 43. Louisiana pinned Crystal City at the 1 yard line in short order. The Hornets have moved it 41 yards. They have it at their own 42, 1st and 10, and they break huddle. No timeouts for the Hornets. Louisiana, I believe they're still full complement of 3. Eisenbass has 2 receivers to the far side. Drops straight back to pass, rolling to his right, looks over the middle. Ball is up, tipped, nearly intercepted. Great coverage by Martin and Harrison on the play.
That was a pretty gutsy pass. The receiver for Crystal City had 2 people very close in his neighborhood there. Crystal City's probably fairly fortunate that they got away with an incomplete pass there rather than an interception.
That certainly had a better chance of being picked off than completed. 134, 2nd and 10, 42-yard line of Crystal City. They have it, 2 receivers to the near side. Mays is on the field, so he wasn't the injured player. This time, Eisenbath rolls out to the right. He finds Mays. And they roll the clock. Gain of about 5. It's going to be 3rd down and 5. Was fearful that they
Third down.
thought there was a face mask coming.
It was possible.
3rd down, a minute 12. Ball at the 46-yard line, Crystal City. 3rd and 7. 2 receivers to the far side. Single back in the backfield behind Eisenbass. He looks to his right. Under pressure. Down! He's down!
Illegal.
Intentional grounding. Yep. Intentional grounding. Sacked in the backfield. Flicked it to the ground. That's going to be a loss of down. It's going to be 4th and about 13.
And Rodney, the clock should start running after that penalty, correct?
I believe so. 55.6 seconds. Really doesn't matter if it runs or not. It's going to be one play for the game for Louisiana. 4th down and 13. Officials have yet to spot the ball.
I believe it constitutes under the same rules as a sack. Therefore, the clock should keep running or start running.
Well, they've marked off some additional yardage, so it's going to be 4th and about 20. So this is the ball game right here, folks.
4th down.
55 seconds left to play. 4th and 20.
We've got a timeout. Louisiana calls timeout.
Louisiana wants to talk about it and get their ducks in a row, so we will let them step aside for a brief moment and be back with the conclusion of this game on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports, brought to you by All Parts, Kayla Caldwell, certified financial planner with Edward Jones, and Ann Lane Boutique.
From the classic cheesesteak and rich crab cakes, a Taste of Philly in Bowling Green is a fan favorite. A meal ready for you before or after the game, and game day jerseys are welcome. Open 7 days a week. A Taste of Philly, Business Highway 54 West in Bowling Green.
Community State Bank of Missouri in Bowling Green and Troy, where the #1 priority is the customer and adding new services to help simplify your life, and building a strong, high-performance financial services organization. Community State Bank in Bowling Green and Troy, your community bank since 1887, member FDIC.
Area high school sports on Eagle 102. Brought to you by People's Bank and Trust, State Farm Insurance, Cindy Blaylock agent, Perkins Electrical Services, and Bowling Green Pharmacy.
We are back at Cunningham Field for the conclusion of this ball game. It's been a good one. Louisiana with the lead, 12-8. Crystal City has the ball. They face a 4th and 20 from their own 32-yard lines. Own 32-yard line. They're out of timeouts. If they do not convert this first down, then Louisiana simply has to take a knee, and this one will be over.
Again, nobody gets behind you here if you're the Louisiana defense.
Eyes and buys. Hands off to the right side to the 30.
There it is.
And that's going to do it, folks. The play gains about 12 yards. Never really had a chance to gain the line to gain for the Bulldog first down. Bulldogs first down. They have the ball. 50 seconds left. A 12-8 lead and no timeouts for Crystal City. That was a little bit of a confusing play.
I'm questioning the play call, and the coaching staff may have seen something that they thought could break to the wide side of the field there and be able to get them the first down, but in that situation, it just didn't suit my eye very well.
They had done such a good job all night of getting their blockers out onto the second level, and that time they just didn't. It's just everybody, it was like student body left, and they didn't get anybody on the second level, allowing the linebackers to flow down the line of scrimmage and make the tackle.
And what's even funnier is Louisiana had their defense backed off a little bit. So,
this is the favorite formation of any coach when he can send his offense into the victory formation. They'll have to snap it one more time. Louisiana's going to move to 1-1 on the season, as will Crystal City. A very, very nice win for the Bulldogs. Very impressive. I thought the coaching adjustments and changes to take what was being given were excellent. They snap it one more time, and that's it. The clock will run out the final 22 seconds. 12-8 will be our score. The Bulldogs over Crystal City. We'll be back with the postgame after this on Eagle 102.
Louisiana 12! The Eagle 102 postgame show is coming up.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
Ask me, Ashley Jenkins, about Shelter's auto, home, and life options.
Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana. Time now for the Eagle 102 postgame show on KJFM.
This one is in the books. I'm Rodney Dolbear alongside Kelly Henderson, Corey Radford, and Maddie Ingram. And what a game for the Louisiana Bulldogs. Head coach Greg Pitzer gets the first win of the season, and a good one it is.
Yeah, as I was talking during the break, we talked about the in-game adjustments, but I think the one word on this game is turnovers. I think I had to count Crystal City turn the ball over 4 times, and I don't recall Louisiana turning it over at all. And whenever you have 2 pretty evenly matched teams, as we saw tonight, it come down to the turnover battle, and Louisiana won that handily, which is got to be a nod to the coaching staff because they've taught ball security pretty well to their players.
They have, and absolutely that makes all the difference in the world. The only anything close to a turnover. Louisiana did have the one punt from in their own end zone, not punt. It was a 4th down where they chose to run it and turned it over on downs. I think that led to the only touchdown that Crystal City had. They had the unsportsmanlike after that, so it gave them 1st and goal or 1st and 10 on the 15. They punched it in. That was the only score that Crystal City had.
Yeah.
And a great job by this team and the staff, and they executed their game plan well. And what I really, and I said it there at the end of the 4th quarter, what I really liked was the fact that their offense changed a little bit. As they would try something else, get some success with it. Crystal City would make a move to change that, and then they changed it up, and it certainly worked.
That's part of the allure of football for me, is the chess match that goes on between the coaches. We're going to do this, so we're going to do that. And, there was a couple times tonight you really have to take your hats off to the Louisiana squad where they had to bow up, at the end of the first half in the second quarter, where Crystal City was driving to try to get the score tied up, and they were able to hold. Crystal City gained a lot of yards, but the Louisiana defense held them out of the end zone. And here at the end of the game, early on, Crystal City had mounted a good drive, and Louisiana was able to bow up at midfield and make them turn the ball over on downs.
And Corey mentioned it in the as we were concluding play in the first half, how Crystal City had a 2-for-1 opportunity, and Crystal City didn't score on either of those possessions at the end of the first half or the beginning of the third quarter, and really didn't come close to scoring, with the exception when they were given gifted field position at the 15-yard line. So excellent job by Louisiana all the way around.
Yeah, and it's a victory for Louisiana in their district, which has to help down the line.
And you can't overstate how great of a punt that was. There at the end of the 4th quarter, the punter's name's Harrison, correct?
Yes, Ethan Harrison.
For him to call what we call a coffin corner punt, to put them at the 1-yard line, to put Crystal City at the 1-yard line, making them potentially have to go 99 yards with no timeouts and about a minute and a half left. I mean, just a phenomenal punt, maybe the best punt I've ever seen out here in Cunningham Field.
Well, it did. It pinned them deep. Crystal City had some success, gained about 40 yards in a few short plays, but they still had almost 60 yards to go. So that's the advantage of having them pinned deep is, okay, you gave up some yards, and then Crystal City tried to kind of, do something different and catch Louisiana. They didn't do it. Louisiana drove them back, had the near sack that resulted in the intentional grounding, and then, then they're faced with a one play 4th and 20, and they didn't convert.
I want to go back to a point I touched on. I was looking for how well the squads were conditioned. Really watched them in that middle of that 4th quarter till the end of the game, and I didn't see much much down from where they were at in the first half, how they played. And you got to give hats off to guys that go out there and give that much effort on these small squads like this whenever you've got low 20s on your roster and they're having to go both ways, and a lot of special teams and things like that. So hats off to both coaches for having these guys pretty well conditioned.
We're going to take one break here on the post-game show and bring it back and wrap it up after a few messages on Eagle 102.
Game of the Week coverage with Eagle 102 Sports brought to you by La Roots Hair Salon and Tanning, Sun Window Company, and MASH.
Your car, your stuff, your savings. Combine your auto and renter's insurance with a call to State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana, and let Cindy show you how to put life back in your life insurance. Auto, home, and life. Make your wallet happy. Here to help life go right, State Farm Insurance agent Cindy Blaylock in Louisiana.
It's a great time to buy or sell a home. I'm Vicki Cadwalder, and I take pride in offering skills that make the process go smoothly from beginning to end. Even after closing, I enjoy staying in touch and being there to help you if you have any other needs or questions. Call me and we'll create a personalized plan just for you. Vicki Cadwalder Real Estate, loving our small town life.
Follow area high school sports throughout the season on Eagle 102. Brought to you by Veolia Landscape Supply, Royal Banks, and a taste of Philly.
Final score, 12-8, Louisiana with their first victory of the year over the Crystal City Hornets here at Cunningham Field in Louisiana. It was a good one. We talked about two teams that wanted to run the ball, and each of them tried to do a little bit of passing, and there late in the second quarter, it was Louisiana who hit the home run with the 80-yarder from Harrison to Ziawa, and that ultimately was certainly the difference in the ball game.
Yeah, Crystal City had 7 passing attempts last week, and completed 2 of them. Louisiana last week had 0 passing yards. Both teams were forced to throw a little more tonight than they did last week, and with some success on both sides, I believe.
I think that's certainly right. Well, we're going to move on from here. Next week we'll be with you from Columbia, Missouri. Father Tolton and Louisiana set to kick it off next Friday night at 7 o'clock. So look forward to bringing that action, as well as Louisiana will look to improve on this 1-1 start and try and get win number 2. Well, again, this is Rodney Dolbear, Kelly Henderson alongside Corey Radford, Maddie Ingram. Thank you for keeping us on the air and directing us through this first production for us for the year. So I think it went rather well, or at least I think it did, because I didn't do anything except talk, and I'm pretty good at that.
You guys did an exceptional job, and so just want to thank you all for coming out and doing this ball game, and we'll see you next week, and hopefully you can bring home another Bulldogs win. You seem like good luck.
Well, so far we're 1-0.
Well, we will have more football action headed to your way next week. Remember, as always, you can find softball action on air and online at kjfmradio.com. We will keep you updated with our scoreboard page and with sports on Eagle 102.
Hear all the action from the Eagle 102 broadcast booth, sponsored by Family Drug in Louisiana.